I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Back when they thought pink polos would hurt the rock. Before Cam got the shit to pop, the doors closed. I felt like bad boy street team. I couldn't work the locks. Now let's go. Take them back to the plan. Me and my mama hopped in that U-Haul van. Any pessimists, I ain't talk to them. Plus I ain't had no phone in my apartment. Let's take them back to the club. At least about an hour I stand online. I just wanted to dance. I went to Jacob an hour after I got my advance. I just wanted to shine. Jay favorite line, dog, in due time. Now ain't look at me like damn dog, you but I am. I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Now let's take them high. Take them high, now let's take them high, now let's take them high, back in Gucci with the shit to rock. Back when Slick Rick got the shit to pop. I do anything to say I got it. Damn, them new loafers hurt my pocket. Before anybody wanted K-West me and my girls split the buffet at KFC. Dog, I was having nervous breakdowns. Like, man, these niggas that much better than me. Baby, I'm going on an aeroplane, and I don't know if I'll be back again. Sure enough, I sent the plane tickets, but when she came, the kicking things became different. Any girl I cheated on, sheets and skeeted on. Couldn't keep it at home, thought I needed a knee along. I'm trying to right my wrongs, but it's funny them same wrongs help me write the song now.
Yes, who's on third? Lupe still like Lupe in the third. Here like here till I'm bitter on the curb. Peach fuzz buzz, but bitter on the verge. Let's slow it down like we're on the serve. Bottle shaped body like Mrs. Butterworth. But before you say another word, I'm back on the block like I'm laying on the street. I'm trying to stop lying like I'm unrobbed, but I'm not lying when I'm laying on the beat. On guard, a touche Lupe, cool as the undog, but I still feel possessed as a gun charge. And come as correct as a porn star. And a fresh pair of steps in my best foreign car. So I represent the first. Now let me end my verse right where the horns are like.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. You gon' touch the sky, baby girl. Testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. You gon' touch the sky, baby girl. Testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. Sky high, I'm 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 sky high, sky high, I'm sky high.
What up? Chat, how we doing? How we doing? Yeah, baby. That might be too quiet. I don't know. I'm bad at this whole volume thing, alright? It'd be like that sometimes. Oh, shoot. Chat, you're not even on the screen. I forgot. I'm still getting used to this, chat. Hold on. Hold on. I got distracted. I was sorting stuff. I was sorting cards and doing things. Totally just forgot. Yeah, okay, yeah. Bandai new game. Okay. Let's see. Chat, are we... hold on. Already added. Okay. Should be good now. Alright, chat. I think you're on the screen now. My fault, gang. My fault. I forgot. I have to open a separate application to get the multi-stream chat cohesive. Let's rock out to some Kanye while I get this working. Okay, should be good. Alright. Alright, let's talk, chat. Let's talk, because we got some stuff to talk about. I have too much. I guess I can stack. There we go. Sorry. I need bigger desk. I need bigger desk. My desk, small. Good news, chat. We are not going to be sweating buckets today, because we got some AC, and then the fan is going, and, you know, we're cooking. So I'm not going to be melting. So if any of you missed sweaty streams, sorry. I'm going to be a normal amount of dank today. Hopefully. I don't know. Bandai might make me blow a blood vessel or something, and we might get a little heated. You never know. That's a lie. I don't care that much. That's a lie. That's a freaking lie. Alright. I forgot. I should pull up the thing. I should pull up the Twitter. I should pull up X, formerly known as Twitter. I hate it, dude. If anyone ever says X, formerly known as Twitter, you're getting banned immediately. What up, cuh? How you doing? What's popping? Alright. Chat. There we go. Everyone. Now we're getting in here. Now everyone is arriving. Welcome to the stream. The surprise Saturday stream. Brought to you by Bandai Card Game Productions. I wasn't going to stream today, but I had to, because I had to fit this in the schedule somewhere before it gets officially announced. So let's, you know, I think we should just go right into it. Let's go right into it. Chat, Bandai has yet again hit us with some news. We're getting a new card game. We're getting a new freaking card game. Chat, how do we feel? Yes, more card games. Let's go. Thank you, Bandai. Thank you, Bandai. This is exactly what I needed. I needed more card games. Yay! Is this like more so a Twitch stream restream? What? I'm using restream.io to multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So whatever viewing experience you prefer, you can enjoy. It's up to you, chat. Watch on Twitch or YouTube, doesn't matter. You're going to be in the same place regardless. I don't know, multi-streaming's good, I think. I don't know. Most people watch it on YouTube anyway, but it's whatever. Good. Yeah, right? Yeah, we're on Twitch and YouTube. Another new game. Yep, once again, guys, if somehow you missed it, Bandai has announced another new card game. Yay! Are we excited? Are we excited? And they're going to reveal it Thursday. Revealing it Thursday. I don't know. Wait, what time zone is PD? Wait, I got to figure out the time zone. Maybe I can stream the reveal. That would actually be kind of lit. Chat, we should, if we can stream the reveal. Dude, what the frick is 7 a.m. PDT? I low-key, actually, I was going to say I'm not streaming at 7 a.m. I low-key could stream at 7 a.m. corresponds at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Daylight Time. They're streaming at 10 a.m.? My friend and I were like joking how it could be Naruto or Boruto. So if we peep the title of the stream, should be Naruto. We're gonna talk about Naruto. All right, we're gonna talk about Naruto. First, though, I want to cover some speculation and, you know, maybe not a rant, but a little mini discussion just about Bandai in general. But I want to cover some ground rules before we break it down. One of the greatest card games of all time, the Naruto card game, which hopefully is what they're bringing back. Basically, TLDR, so like Bandai competing with themselves. Not really. When you really think about it, not. Like, I don't know. This is one of the things I never really understood, is the concept of, like, competing with yourself, right? Especially with Bandai and IP-based games. Especially IP-based games. Because, like, when you think about it, who was, what Digimon player was like, oh, Gundam's coming out, I'm gonna quit Digimon for Gundam, and then even if they do that, how does that hurt Bandai, right? The only way competing with yourself hurts you is if you have, like, a group of players and then you release a new card game and then like 70% of those players go to the new card game, and the 30 players that are left are not enough to keep that game supported, so then that game dies, and then that player base dies with it. So now all you've done is you've went from creating one game to creating another game, but now this other game has 75%, like has like 30% less players, right? So all you've done is lost players. That's the only real scenario in which competing with yourself hurts you. But that doesn't really happen with, like, especially Bandai games and IP games, right? Like, we haven't seen it yet. Competing with yourself doesn't hurt you until one of your intellectual properties dies. And so far, none of the Bandai games, besides the one that deserved to, has died. So, like, the whole competing with yourself thing is kind of weird. But yeah, so they're streaming at 10 a.m., which, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to live stream it. Maybe I'll post a little video, because I'm going to be, what is it, Thursday? I'll be at work. So, I ain't working. Man, that sucks. That would be so nice. Okay, PDT and, okay, Pacific Daylight Time. Fart balls. That sucks. I would really have liked to stream that. But yeah, 10 a.m. is literally when I clock in. But whatever. That's alright. Well, we're not streaming, we're live reaction. I'll maybe post a small one, and then we'll stream that night. I think it's this Thursday. Yeah, I'll stream that night. We'll stream our live reaction. We'll leave our live recap that night. So expect a fun Thursday stream. I'll make the thumbnail for that later. If they aren't pulling in new players, they're expending development and overhead costs for no net gain. So but like, this is why they're doing it, right? Is because Bandai just makes IP games. So, like, no Digimon player is going to go, oh, Gundam game? We're all gonna quit watching 2 streams. I respect it. No Digimon player, not a significant quantity of Digimon players is gonna go, oh, they're making Gundam, I'm dropping Digimon to play Gundam, right? A significant amount of Digi players aren't dropping it to kill Digimon. But there's going to be a lot of people that are fans of Gundam that don't like Digimon that are like, oh, a Gundam game, I'll go play Gundam, right? It only really gains them players. So personal experience, I can confirm that Bandai games at my locals aren't bringing in distinct new players, but rotating between the same Digimon, OP, Gundam. Yeah, right. Most of, like, the Bandai player base, they play all the games. They just rotate through all the Bandai games. They don't really lose anybody. They just kind of sift them through the games. If you can afford 2 games to Digimon, one piece of want to play Gundam, they have to drop one of their games. That's still competing with yourself. Doesn't kill the other game. So I'll get to that. It's like having my locals. I think collecting wise, you're doing right to extend it. Yeah. It's hard enough to print even Union Arena. Because there's been Gundam. Hey, Bacon. Hello. What's up? How's it going? Basically, the way, so this only works, right? Bandai is only able to keep printing games because they're IPs. So what ends up happening with IP-based games is you have a inherent ceiling to how popular your game can get. When they print the Dragon Ball card game, the Dragon Ball card game is basically only going to be as popular, right? You're only going to get an amount of Dragon Ball players as there are an amount of Dragon Ball fans, right? And typically it's going to be less than that number because there's going to be a lot of Dragon Ball fans that don't like card games, right? Bushiroad just makes the same game over and over again. And they've gotten away with it 5 times. Alright? Like, name me, like, if you can show me a Digimon player that plays Digimon just for the gameplay, isn't a fan of the Digimon IP, just plays Digimon for the gameplay, I'll give you, like, $1,000. Like, every Digimon player plays Digimon because they like the source property. And the same goes for One Piece. One Piece you can maybe make a slight argument for, but those people are cringe. Gundam, Dragon Ball, right? The people playing those games are playing them because they love the IP. And because they love the IP, they get to do this thing that, like, it's the same thing Final Fantasy is surviving off of, where you immediately acquire a small niche player base that is dedicated to the game because of their love for the intellectual property. And what this means is that the game, like, has those players forever. So like you'll see these games settle into their niches very quickly. Like you go to every Bandai locals, and it's like every store has like a 4-man Bandai Digimon locals and like a 6-man like Dragon Ball locals, right? Like these very tight knit niche communities get established very quickly. So these games are kind of like almost secure in their player. Like Final Fantasy probably isn't gonna die, right? Like, or I should say it like this: the Final Fantasy card game is not. It's probably not going to grow, right? All of the people that already like Final Fantasy have seen the Final Fantasy card game over the past, like, it's almost been 10 years now for that game, right? Most of the people that are going to see it have already seen it, right? So it's probably not going to grow. But in vice versa, it's probably also not going to die either, because the player base that is currently playing it plays it because they like the game and they are locked into the game, right? They would have to screw up like tremendously to get those people to stop playing the game. It's a similar reason why like Vanguard is still alive. Like Vanguard is a good example of an original IP that is still alive but has its niche player base locked in, so it's probably not dying anytime soon. But like by making this IP game, you have an inherent, or you have a flat ceiling of like this game is really only going to be as popular as the IP is when it's a Bandai game, because the Bandai games aren't very good, right? And then you also have this floor of players that are just going to play because they like the IP. So you have this like window that you're playing like between. You have to like make the game really, really bad to hit below that floor and kill the game, right? Let's read some comments. let's read chat real quick. Before I keep going. I guess it's locally dependent on my OP scene is about 20 people who don't like OP. They are score magic players. That, yeah, One Piece is the one big example because it is so big that there's a lot of like sweats that play it because they think it's way more competitive than it is, or people that just play it because the locals is the size that it is. Yeah, One Piece is absolutely the outlier in that example, for sure. I think that is insanely wrong. The people who liked the core gameplay at this point have potentially moved on due to Bandai CCG creep. Yeah, like no one is playing like that's what I'm saying. No one is playing a Bandai game because they like the game's mechanics, right? The only one where that's the case is like maybe One Piece, but even then, like that's not super. They're not doing it for the right reasons. Or maybe Gundam, right? But that's because that's like just the new one. The vast majority are playing the game because they like the source material. I see this locally in Dragon Ball Fortune was scoring MDG players locking in for SWU. Yeah, right. Like they're just gonna hop over to the other thing. Crowds playing the Cookie Run game. That's hype that people are playing the Cookie Run game. The locals I've seen don't play it, unfortunately. But yeah, that'd be fair. If that's the case, I feel Bakugan would still be live. Well, okay. Different, whoa, very very different thing. Okay, hold on. Bakugan is a completely different example because like, it's not a TCG. It didn't have a strongly established community. It was mostly a toy line back in the day. There wasn't very much gameplay. They did ruin the game like very consistently with Gadalian invaders and like the Mectanium Surge. Like they just like they made a horrible billion decisions that made the game terrible and not really an actual game. Like there's a litany of reasons Bakugan died. It's an original IP. It doesn't have like a player base. It doesn't have like a consumer base to coast off of the back of. Like there's a billion reasons why Bakugan died. Vanguard is on the verge. I don't think it is. I don't think Vanguard's on the verge of that at all. I think Vanguard's fine. If anything, I think Vanguard might even be like growing. Vanguard is totally okay. They're in zero threat of dying. It's not gonna happen. Don't think you'd be Naruto doing Naruto game right now where they're launching the US. I don't know, man. It's Bandai. I think there are like, I think they could do it. I think they could do it. There is an I'll come back to this because there is an IP that has launched like in like two different games. I have to remember what it is though. But I think they could. Digimon memory system, but it's secondary considered. Digimon's just it's bad. The Digimon game sucks. Bloom Swing just playing out, Blue Rush, more than anything I wanted to see people just playing that. It's really enough. Box prices of people. Checking out Grand Archive. So the game design Rush becomes an out. So Bandai does also like because Bandai does make the same game over and over and over again. All of the Bandai games start exactly the same. The Bandai game launches. There's a bunch of hype around the game. A lot of people are playing it, but it's a Bandai game. So set 1 and 2 and sometimes 3 suck balls, and they're super aggro heavy, and the game hasn't really figured out what it wants to be. So then all of the players that are playing it because it is the new thing and hype, or they're playing it because they think the mechanics are cool, jump off of the game because the game sucks. And the only players that are left are the people that either like decided they actually do like the game, which is a small minority, or the people that just like the IP. And these games very quickly settle into their tight-knit group of players playing it for the IP, right? That's what we're seeing with like Dragon Ball killed everyone in set 2 with the stupid red Goku thing with Top Q or whatever. Gundam was a bunch of aggro decks at the start. Even One Piece sucked, but the IP's so big that it got to survive, right? Digimon had a bunch of Rookie Rush at the start. So that all you are left with is this niche group of people that are playing the game. And this is why that like the games are doing fine, but yet everyone that doesn't play them is like, yeah, these games are dying, their metas are terrible, and the game blah, 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 right? It's because the people that are actually keeping the game alive are the people that sincerely adore the IP and are playing it for that reason, and that's what Bandai games can coast off of, right? And this is why Bandai is able to just make the same game over and over and over again. Because every time they make a new game with a new IP, there will always be enjoyers of that IP that will play it for that sole purpose. And if you can just accrue a large enough amount of them, they will sustain your game. And they will keep it alive, right? And that's why they just keep printing the same game. They keep printing the same game with a different skin over and over again, because all that skin does is either keep the same players in the same company spending the same money on the product, or brings in new people that are a fan of that IP, right? The only way they stop doing this and like they don't get away with it is either A, they had a critical mass of IPs and they've pulled so much from other games that now all of the games are at like are all in threat of dying, right? You've taken so much from the pot. And you finally hit a new IP that doesn't quite bring in enough people, and you hit this critical mass of pulling from your own stuff that you die, and you like your player base is spread so thin across so many games, but like you have to hit a really big critical mass for that to happen. Or finally, one of these games flops, right? An IP game pulls a Battle Spirits Saga and actually flops and is dead on arrival. This is also why Battle Spirits Saga died, because it has all of the America band, because Battle Spirits in Japan is awesome and one of the best games of all time. Battle Spirits in America died because it has all of the Bandai design problems with no IP to coast off of. So once there is no IP to coast off of, and you just have bad Bandai gameplay, Battle Spirits happens, and the game dies instantly. But Bandai learned from this experience, because Battle Spirits was dead on arrival, but people bought the heck out of Set 2. Set 2 sold gangbusters. Why? Because people wanted the Gundam promos. There were so many people that were literally just going into the stores, buying the Set 2 booster boxes just to get the Gundam promos. And Bandai went, people really like this Gundam thing. Americans like Gundam a lot more than we thought they did. Maybe we should make it, maybe we shouldn't just keep Gundam to a Battle Spirits collab IP like it is in Japan. We should just make a Gundam game. And they made a Gundam game, and it's doing fine right now. And it's doing completely fine, right? So, like, until one of these IP games flops, like Battle Spirits flopped, they're just gonna keep making them, because there's no reason for them to not keep making them. There's literally no reason they shouldn't keep pressing the money button, right? When making a new IP game, all it does is bring in new players from that IP, or just take people that were already spending money on your company and just making them spend that same money on your company, just in a different place. As long as that doesn't pull enough people from the other things that you need to sell and make money, then what reason is there to not keep doing it? There is no reason to keep doing it. So they're going to either A, keep doing it until they hit a critical mass of things. Kamen Rider's tough. It depends on the whales. It would depend on like the whales that like buy a bunch of it. It's one of those games. Like, Kamen Rider, they probably shouldn't print in America. It probably wouldn't do well, but there's a slim chance it survives solely off of the back of Kamen Rider American fans, because there are like a lot of them and they're very into the thing. But yeah, they're either going to keep, they're not going to stop doing this until one of them flops like Battle Spirits. or they hit a critical mass and they pull too many players from their other card games, and like 3 of their card games die at one time, right? That's about it. Battle Spirits help Gundam TCG get... Yes, Battle Spirits is kind of what birthed the Gundam TCG. For years, Gundam was just a collab, much like Kamen Rider and Evangelion. Gundam was just an IP that would do collabs in Battle Spirits. And then we got Battle Spirits Saga in America, and then people started buying the set 2 boxes just for the Gundam promos. And they were like, hey, people really like this Gundam thing in America too. Let's make a Gundam. And then Bushiroad has already been on the kick of making a bunch of IP games. One Piece had done super well, so they went, hey, let's make a Gundam game. And we saw what happened there, right? Let's go back in the chat. let's catch up. Let's scroll back up in the chat. Let me read some chats that I missed while I was yapping. Okay, so yeah, that was the Rush. Yeah, Rush is like terrible. It's also from GA players that kind of went away quick. GA is tough. GA, I have, go watch my starter deck video. Go watch my starter deck video for Grand Archive. It explains exactly how people will... GA looks awesome. Grand Archive looks incredible, but it is so easy to just bounce off of. It is such a pain to just dip your toe in that people bounce right out of it, and you cannot blame them for doing so. Bleach TCG would be cool. Unfortunately, it's tough because, like, also with Naruto, it's just one of those IPs that isn't quite high enough in the cultural zeitgeist anymore that it should be hard to justify making one, but who knows? Maybe they do it. Maybe they're just like, you know what, friggin' Bleach TCG. Why not? Like, they had a TCG. It was okay. It was, like, fine. It wasn't the coolest thing in the world, but it was, like, cool enough. As I was working on my main game, learning, yeah, right. The Grand Archive learning curve is, like, is unnecessarily and frustratingly steep, which is unfortunate for them. But I mean, if you like it, it's a great game. It's a really good game. Bleach should be cool. Bleach TCG. Yep. Okay, Bankai. Digimon die. Poland. Yeah, right. Like, oh yeah. Like, early on, if you don't survive the early wave, you're just kind of cooked. Gundam is still a lot of rush down Triangle 3 play styles. Actually, like Gundam TCG. Yep. Did you did for me mostly did COVID printing? Yeah. Did you had a rough start? Did you had a very rough start? Had to be converted to the Power Ranger satellite because of agreements. They're the original IP owners, if I recall. I mean, that's Super Sentai. Kamen Rider is its own thing. I'm not sure, maybe. No Star on the other one down. I don't know, maybe. Grand Archive only priced me out because the game is also, yeah, Grand Archive is ridiculously expensive for no it's annoying. Not for no reason. Like, there are reasons, but it is very annoying how expensive that game is because it is so difficult. It's already hard enough to understand how it's hard enough to learn how to play it's not even like that the game is like necessarily incredibly difficult to like comprehend. It's just like hard. They just make it really difficult to learn. Like, they make the learning it unnecessarily hard. It's really weird. They could make it a lot easier to learn. They just don't. Shaman King, probably not. That would be, they'd have to have seen the Bandai, the Bushiroad, the Vanguard collab do super well, and it really didn't, so I doubt it'd be Shaman King. I roll any IP that's in Union Arena. I think that's fair. That's very fair. So, unfortunately, it can't be Battle Spirits 2. Yes, Digimon was a Battle Spirits collab. Digimon was the collab that saved Battle Spirits. Battle Spirits was doing really bad, and then they did the Digimon collab, and it just revitalized the entire game. It was really funny. And then that got them like, what if we just made an entire Digimon TCG? You know, Digimon single-handedly saved Battle Spirits. Let's just make Digimon its own game, and they did, and it's doing great. So unfortunately, it cannot be Battle Spirits 2, because as much as I want it to be standard Battle Spirits is so fun. As much as I want it to be standard Battle Spirits, it cannot be that because they also have the game has a Japanese webpage. The Bandai new TCG also has a entire Japanese account, right? And if it was going to be Battle Spirits standard, they wouldn't make an entirely new account of a game that already exists, right? That wouldn't make any sense. So it unfortunately most likely cannot be Battle Spirits, unless this is some weird, like, red herring, you know? They just made this account for no reason. then maybe, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it's just... Also, like, the special announcement is going to be, like, they made a thing saying it's in JST. Like, why would they announce it to Japanese players if it's just English standard? That wouldn't make any sense. It's not going to be Battle Spirits, unfortunately. It's just not going to be standard Battle Spirits. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Dude, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, the card game. That would go hard. Yeah, I don't think Dark Souls TCG is gonna happen. Hopefully they would learn, like, if anything, my sincerest hope would be they learned from Saga's failure, and like that would be like, they'd be like, oh, people just don't want Magic clones. Maybe, I don't think a Dark Souls TCG would happen. How did Battle Spirit Saga play? Beautifully. It plays incredible. If you want to if you want to figure out how Battle Spirit Saga plays, tune into, I think it's the Tuesday stream. I'm going to spend most of the Tuesday stream talking about standard Battle Spirits, because that game is so freaking fun. It's so much fun. So if you want to hear about Battle Spirits, check out the Tuesday stream. I think it's already like scheduled, so you can go into my YouTube channel, go to the live tab, and you can hit a notify to be notified when I go live on Tuesday for the Battle Spirit stream. Because I really like standard. I played it a lot. I played it at Logos last night. It was really, really fun. But yeah, Mega Man. Ooh, probably not. I highly doubt it. I don't think it'd be Mega Man. Okay, the Naruto thing. So most likely, you've probably seen a lot online. It's like the strongest, if it's not like a new game, like a new IP, or like a new thing, the strongest contender for a possibility is a revival of the old Naruto CCG. But yeah, Saga isn't Battle Spirits for the commenters. What? Okay. Bandai Trains TCG, that would go crazy. That would go so hard. But yeah, the strongest contender is a revival of the Naruto CCG. One issue is that, let me see if I can find it. I think it might be in here. Yeah, technically there already is a Naruto card game out right now. And it's coming to English. I forget who produces it, but I'm trying to think. There's a game that I was talking about with somebody, and I was trying to make the same point of like, no, it can't be this thing because this thing already exists in an IP. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. We were talking about, now granted this could be different because we were talking about potential Union Arena titles. Already in EU? Yeah, I think it is out in EU. Okay. So when that's what it was. When Union Arena came out, people were theorizing Union Arena titles and like potential titles that we could get. And now granted, this could be different because it's Union Arena and like the IP situation might work a little differently. But people were talking about titles they can get, and one of the titles people were talking about was like My Hero Academia. It's like, oh, My Hero Academia would be really cool in Union Arena. And me and some other people were thinking, I don't know if they can do My Hero, because Universes has the rights to My Hero, and they have the rights to My Hero to the point where, like, when Universes did its big, like, not reboot, but its big, like, comeback attempt, it was just the My Hero card game. It, like, wasn't even Universes. It came back as the My Hero CCG. So we were wondering, like, I don't know if they can do My Hero, because My Hero is so tightly tied to Universes, right? And Union Arena literally made it playable here, so yeah, right. But the like counter argument there is that, like, well, because Universes is an IP sludge game and Union Arena is also an IP sludge game, it's probably a little more lenient with the rights because they're both like essentially it would be like DLC character, the same DLC character in like two different games, which is a lot more reasonable than it being like one is a DLC character in this game, and then one is like its own entire card game. And then especially here, it would be like, this IP is two entire card games. So I do think there is like, in Weiss, dude, Weiss Eminence and Shadow, that looks sick. I was gonna buy a deck and I never did, but I might still do it. We'll have to see how expensive it is. So this might prove to be a pretty giant roadblock in the Naruto theory. Also, unfortunately, this game sucks. This game looks terrible. It does not look fun at all, so that's a huge disappointment. But this is a pretty like reasonable roadblock. Own some wants some fix in Discord for card. No, I can Google them. I don't need. I've already seen the cards. I've already read them. I looked at the game. I think it looks bad. We're not gonna talk about this game. It just looks. All of the cards just look janky. It just doesn't look good. The biggest thing though, so we have really no, we have no hints about it. You don't think you only have 2 hints. If they just do another Union Arena, that would suck. The Naruto TCG is the Mythos. Yeah, the Mythos is like basically Riftbound. It sucks. It's bad. Don't even look at this. This game sucks. Don't even worry about this game. It's terrible. We're gonna talk about the good one in like 20 minutes or something. The big like hint that we have is this Jeff Jones tweet of him saying that he's known what it is for 2 years, and that yes, it is what we think it is, which granted could mean anything, but the biggest like obvious like what could Bandai print is the Naruto CCG again. That's like the biggest one that it could be. So like this is like a decent enough clue. It's not like the biggest clue in the world, but it's a decent enough clue. So yeah, I don't know if it could be Naruto. It'd be interesting. I want it to be. Here's the thing, chat. I don't care about what the logic and the theories, and the speculation says. I need it to be the old Naruto CCG coming back, because that game is freaking incredible. The old Naruto CCG is so good that people have tried to revive it via making a new game just with all the same rules and putting it on Kickstarter. Unfortunately, I think that game looks kind of bad, and I don't really want to interact with it at all. But the Naruto CCG coming back would be huge. The biggest forerunners for what this game could be is either out of left field random IP, Kamen Rider, Bleach, and Naruto. I think that's the biggest. Those are like the biggest contenders for what this could possibly be. I think Naruto is a better idea, just because. That would just be Power. It would just be the Power Rangers card game, which they can maybe do. I'm hoping though they don't do a Power Rangers Kamen Rider card game, because they look at Ultraman and go, wait a minute, the Ultraman game isn't doing like super great. Maybe we don't print a second Tokusatsu style game. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If it is that would kind of suck. I believe I found out something that I could have gotten Transformers IP rights, which would be sick. That would be cool. That would be neat. The old Transformers game was like kind of cool. It was like kind of neat. Yeah, there's an Ultraman TCG. I think it's Bandai. I think it's a Bandai game. There's an Ultraman. It's in English too. It's in English. It's Marvel Snap but better. It's basically just Marvel Snap but better. It's not like the worst game in the world. I think it's kind of cool, but it is like kind of a nothing burger game. But we'll see. Sonic. All right, now we're just saying now we're just playing that. We're just playing Mad Libs. We're just saying noun and TCG. We're just playing Mad Libs at this point. The worst thing though we could get is Naruto CCG Revival, but it's Boruto. That would suck, but I'd still play it because that game is amazing. Remember the Ultraman card game today in GameStop? Hey, look at that! There you go. If you want to play friggin' Ultraman, yeah, there's no way they make Kamen Rider or Super Sentai and make it like Ultraman 2, because that game has gone nowhere. So I highly doubt. I'd be surprised if it was that. Got killed off around Kingdom Time. Yeah, oh yeah, Transformers died like forever ago. It was like okay. It was a fine game. What am I, Boruto TCG? Yeah, I mean that's probably what it would be if they did revive it. But it's a Chainsaw Man TCG. Go play Weiss. Just go play Weiss. Just go play Weiss. That's the other thing too, is if it is an IP game, we really need it to be an IP that is big enough to support a full game. Wouldn't Sentai game be Union Arena? Different Sentai teams? Oh, if they just did that? I mean, kinda. I don't know. I hope they don't do it. Really. Oh, they did fan-made stuff? I mean, that makes sense. That's really cool. I'm glad to see they kept that going. That game is really neat. Ben is actually taking over WeCross EN. I would prefer that news. I would honestly prefer that news. Give me the freaking, give me the arts back. We were just about to get arts, which is what I was really looking forward to because I hated the stupid teams. I hated assists. Arts are so much cooler. And we were right about to get them back, and then they killed the game. Like, brother. I would, honestly, though, I would give us WeCross, but give us, like, de-goonified WeCross. Give us WeCross ungooned. I'd play that. I would play the heck out of that. They still make new stuff? Oh, that's kind of sick. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Transformers CCG. I just thought it was neat and not the worst game in the world. But I'm happy to see, yeah, there's a lot of card games that still, like, have really, like, crazy dedicated communities. Like, Transformers, they still make fan cards. The Harry Potter TCG has a Discord. They still make cards. They, like, release new sets. There's a ton of them. Naruto, they did it for a while. They released like 4 extra sets for Naruto. Like they kept Naruto going as a fan made thing. There's a lot to do. It's kind of wild. My whole LGS was excited for arts. Yeah, right. Like that's such a bummer, dude. Imagine having an actual LGS that was excited for that. It would be. I would take original IP. I would actually be so hyped for an original IP. I'd support the crap out of that if it was good. If the game was good. I would do. Okay, why are we just naming card games that already exist? What is going on? What are we talking about? Why are we naming games that are real? Final Fantasy and Force of Will are just other card games. What are we talking about? What is going on? But yeah, pick it up for cool, makes an interesting game. Yeah, the game's not bad. Transformers is a pretty cool game. Yeah, Force of Will is actually impressive because by all intents and purposes, that game should be dead, but it's somehow still alive. Like, Force of Will is battling against every odd in the books, and it is still alive. But, like, that's what I'm saying with even the IP games, right? Is like, if you have a dedicated enough fan base, they will support the game, even if you have to do, like, become a tier 2 game, where, like, your print runs are based off of pre-order counts, plus a little extra. Like, these games will stay alive. And Force of Will is probably the best example of that from an original IP perspective. Because, like, that game should, by all intents and purposes, should be completely dead. But it's somehow, against all odds, it is surviving. Barely, but it's surviving. But that game also is, like, impossible to parse. You try to read a Force of Will card, it just doesn't make any sense at all. It's like if Magic had Yu-Gi-Oh! Power Creep. It's like, oh. It's crazy. The game's ridiculous. But yeah. We're staying in fumble, dude. I could go on a 3-hour-long rant about Battle Spirit Saga and how they fumbled that. Battle Spirit Saga is a generational fumble. It's honestly impressive. It is shockingly bad. If you want, you can. Are the videos still up? Do I still have? Let me check my channel really quick. Do I still have the old videos? I actually have to like swap to the channel. I'm not gonna do it. It wouldn't even be that interesting. It would not be a super. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's incredible. If you want, let me see here. Let me go to my channel. Does this video still exist? I would assume it does, but I'm not positive. If it does, it's old. Very old video. See here. It does. Okay, yeah. Jeez. I recommend the most is when they put BS's mechanic in other games. Oh yeah, of course. Okay, well, mulliganing isn't really mechanic. Let's be for real. Key is basically cores. It's a bit of a stretch, but yeah. YouTube. Okay, now we're just playing Mad Libs. We're just playing Mad Libs. If you scroll to the bottom of my channel, one of the first things I ever did was complain about Battle Spirits sucking balls. Which, if you note the date of this video, oh, does it actually say the? Oh, yeah, August 22nd, 2000. Let me get you between chat. I posted this like 2 days after the game got revealed in English. Like I was day one. This was basically day one, and I was so bummed because I thought I was gonna go all in on Saga. I had the layout. I was making videos about the Japanese game. I love Battle Spirits. This game was freaking peak, and then they dropped this stupid trailer. They dropped this dumb trailer And I was like, oh, I gotta react to this. I freaked up the chat box. That's hilarious. Oh no, I got it working eventually. They dropped this. Can you wait? Is my background semi-transparent? What was I, dude? What was I cooking back then? I was terrible at this. Dude, I was so ready to go all in on Battle Spirits. They dropped the announcement trailer. And I was already like, wait, this game's done on arrival. This game is cooked. It was over. And then did I make anything else? Oh, wait, can I go oldest? Here we go. I kept streaming. This is like another. I kept talking about Battle Spirits a little bit, but I was not. And then immediately I didn't make anything about it. No, I didn't make a single Battle Spirits video. They revealed this. I was like, this game sucks. They revealed nothing to make it any better, and I completely stopped talking about it. And then you'll flash forward like 9 years. And I dropped this banger, the Battle Spirits worst card. If you want to hear me complain about Battle Spirits, it's only about the card game. But as you can see, I could rant about literally just the card frame for 20 minutes. This video is kind of a banger. This video goes kind of hard. Yeah, Battle Spirit Saga is an impressively generational fumble. I'm like flabbergasted at how they could even make something like that bad. Like, it's shocking. But then again, the more I think about it, the more I understand why it is the way that it is. It was some Japanese guy who was low-key out of touch and thought, like, what do Americans like about card games? Well, they like Magic the Gathering and winning money. Let's just make the game that. You know, it was bad. So bad. Forget everything that made Battle Spirits cool. No, let's take all the unique things about Battle Spirits. Let's get that out of here. Let's make the worst, desaturated, fun, vacant Magic clone you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, bro, it's redonkulous. They were like, hey, you know how Battle Spirits is a Mike Elliott game? Like, it was designed in America and originally came out in America in, like, 2006 and then died in 2 years? Yeah, what if we just made... But in Japan, they changed how, like, the game looks, and it's been going on ever since and is, like, one of their top 10 games of all time. Let's bring it back to America, but instead of, you know, doing what Japan has been doing that's been working for the past 12 years, what if instead we released the bad game from 2006 that died in 2 years? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just go back to when Battle Spirits sucked. That's a banger. Surely that'll work. I don't even know. It's incredible. I don't even know. It is Magic 3. Literally, that's how the game started. It started as Magic 3. And then, yeah, like 3 years later, they're like, actually, we're going to print, here's a perfect, because, like, they were like, well, we have to do Saga because, you know, Battle Spirits doesn't have a standard format. It doesn't have a rotating format. It is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, entire card pool game, and cards from 9 years ago are relevant in the game. We can't just reprint the entire card pool in English. We got to reboot the game. We got to reboot it. Okay, we got to do Saga. And so, like, we got to reboot it, and then 3 years later, Japan goes, hey, guys, look at this perfect starting point for an English reboot print. We could just start printing the standard cards. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, they hate us. They really hate English. They despise English Battle Spirits fans. They detest them, and they just made Saga as a sick prank just to bully them. It's wild. But yeah, new IP would be cool. The problem is, like, from a business perspective, a new IP is so dangerous. The market is already so saturated. If you want to make a new card game and make that card game popular, you have to have some kind of IP attached to it to draw players in, right? Making an original IP game right now it's borderline impossible. So, like, I can't blame them for not doing it. I really can't blame them for not doing it. But I would love to see a new IP. I'd love that. Buddy Fight Revival would be incredible. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. If you want to play Buddy Fight, go move to Thailand. Go move to Thailand and play Soul Build. Soul Build looks sick. The Soul Build mechanic looks freaking wild. So if you want to go play Buddy Fight, go move to Thailand and play over there. Because it only exists over there, unfortunately. I'm so confused why they bland the edges colors when MTG colors are vibrant. When they bland the edges colors when MTG colors are vibrant. You're talking about, like, the card frame on Battle Spirits? Go watch the video. I have an entire 20-minute video on the card frame. Hard to Battle Spirits because the original name is kind of bloated. People find it kind of hard to... No, they can't do... They would never release an LCG because the LCGs don't make money. They would never do an LCG. LCGs don't make nearly as much money as TCGs do. They would never do that. I mean, if they did, I'd be shocked. I would genuinely be shocked if they did that, because that doesn't make any sense for them to do that. They make no money. What if the IP is a new anime to go along with the new TCG? What? New T. Oh, they make an anime to go with it. I would love to see it be a new IP, but it doesn't make any sense for them to do a new IP. Just from a business standpoint, it actually would be maybe borderline disastrous. Like, it has so much potential for disaster. I'd be shocked if they did that. Can I make Twitch chat more readable? Hold on, you guys are getting like a little murky in the thing. There we go. That's a little more legible. Maybe. I don't know. It could be worse, but it's whatever. It would have like Build Divide. Yeah, it would be a disaster, right? Which, like, Build Divide is actually a great example of, like, Aniplex was like, we're gonna release a card game for some reason. They made an original IP. Well, the problem with Build Divide is the game's awful. The game's terrible. So that didn't help it at all. But they're like, we're gonna release an original IP. They made a whole anime with it. The anime is kind of cool. Has the best opening of all time. They made a whole anime with it, and what did it do? It flopped. And in order to save it, they had to start printing collabs, and the collabs kind of helped it out. And then it just hit a point where people are only buying the collab sets. Frigate, we're just making it a Weiss clone. And now Build Divide is just a Weiss clone. It is all collabs. Like, the entire game. I haven't kept up with it, but I don't know if they've printed an, like, IP original set for that game in years. It's all collabs. Because that's just what, like, makes money, and that's what kept the game alive. But, Build Divide is so funny because it's Duel Masters but bad, but it's also like Vanguard but bad. They looked at the Vanguard triggers and were like, what if checking triggers killed you? Turns out, horrible idea. Why? Huh? Yeah, the game's terrible. It was so bad. They haven't since last year. Okay, yeah, right. It just had to turn into a Weiss clone because the game was just dying. WeCross had an anime. WeCross came out in 2012. Like, what? Yeah, I know WeCross had an anime. What? Green card game? Yes. Neville Arena. I mean, it's Union Arena. Literally, they're both arena games, but it's literally Union Arena again. The game looks fine. It's a game that's fine enough, right? It's not like the worst. I think we are getting are we getting in English? I feel like I saw somewhere it got confirmed that we're getting it eventually. But it's just a Weiss clone. It's Weiss, but for Gunnar Gacha games. Like, it's the Gacha game, card game. It looks fine, but I wouldn't call it, like, it's not the greatest thing ever. It's just another, like, Union Arena, like, card.game, you know, .jpeg game. It's nothing special, but it's, like, fine enough. It's not, like, the worst thing in the world. But yeah. I did see that. I think, who was it? One of the VTubers. I think was it Nova that was like, or no, was it Miwa? I think it was Miwa. That was like, our crack theory is the Fate TCG. Now that would make them probably $1 gajillion. Have you seen how much money these people spend on Fate Go? Fate Go is one of, like, the most profitable gacha games, like, ever invented. It's insane the amount of money that game makes. A Fate card game, especially in Japan, would probably make $1 gazillion. If we're being for real, it would probably be $1 gajillion. They closed Fate Go Arcade. Okay, maybe. Could be like WeCross, a new RSP card game anime. Like, yes, it could exist. Like, sure, they could make it. Like, yeah, they have, like, the resources to create a new IP game. I'm just saying that, like, I doubt they will, because that's not a very smart idea to do in this market. The chances that a new IP game has of succeeding are dramatically slim. The only way it would maybe work is the fact that it, like, has the Bandai TCG brand name recognition. That would be the only thing that gets people to look at it, right? But it is such a dangerous move. It would not be wise of them to try to make an original IP. As much as I want an original IP, don't get me wrong, I'd adore an original IP, but it is not a good idea. It's not a wise decision to do that. It's Weiss. It's all in Weiss. Weiss has all of the Fate stuff. Pretty much every Weiss game or title Every Final Fantasy, every Fate, most of the Fate titles are all in Weiss. Weiss has 0. I think it has Unlimited Blade Works. It has Encore. It has most of the Fate titles are in Weiss. So that's pretty much why. But it is a good question. Like, yeah, like a Weiss or a Fate TCG would like make a gajillion dollars. It's shocking it hasn't like existed so far. Burst triggers so easy to fix. I can do it right now. You can play any number of them, and their effects are pushed. You take extra damage. Wait, what? Burst triggers are so easy to fix. I can do it right now. You can put any number of them, and their effects are pushed. You take extra damage when checking. That is the burst. Wait, what? Oh, wait, no, burst. What is burst trigger? What are you talking about? Because that's shot trigger from Build Divide. And it's bad mechanic. Very, very, very bad mechanic. So I don't know what... I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know what IP Bandai has they could do at this point. It would be... So it's either, like, new IP we've never seen before. It's a revival of the Naruto CCG, which we're going to talk about later. Bleach coming back. Or... What was the other one we said? It's either Naruto, Bleach, new IP, maybe Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, Tokusatsu thing, but hopefully, probably not, because they already did Ultraman. Most likely, it's between Naruto and Bleach, or like new IP we haven't said yet. But Fate would be that would be a smart one, right? Like my heart wants original IP, but my brain knows it won't be. I want a new Shadowverse anime. I mean, that's all right. Nothing we can do about that one. MiHoYo TCG could come out and probably find success. Probably not. Not from Bandai. Extra Kali Sliner, I think. Yes. Yeah. They have a bunch. Why do people keep saying Sonic? We're not getting a Sonic card game. What? You like Warhammer? They already tried a Warhammer TCG and it flopped so hard. They flopped incredibly hard. That game was the Warhammer TCG was a freaking disaster. It was really funny though. But oh well. Oh well. Even my PS3 yeah, for real. So I'm just thinking of their final IP you're thinking of. Oh yeah, no. The big ones are really between what was I gonna say? The big ones are really between Bleach and Naruto in terms of like card game IPs they've already done, or like Bandai has already like produced. That's kind of like the only thing. The only thing that it really could be. Hold on a second, chat. Okay. Chat, I think I might be starting set. Okay, never mind. Yeah, dropped it. My bad. Can't see. Yeah, that's what I'm right. I'm thinking like Bleach is cool because they do like the TCG in like the early 2000s was kind of neat, but I don't think it's quite relevant enough in like the cultural zeitgeist to really come back. Like 1,000-Year Blood War is getting animated, but I don't think it's not the most popular. Like who have you seen on Twitter like talking about 1,000-Year Blood War? Like, let's be for real. Who's been talking about that? I sure haven't seen anything. But yeah, the battery's expiring. I'm going. All right, you have a good one, brother. I'll catch you later. I'll see you later. Yeah, like I Fate. Oh my god, I hate. Oh, this is making me so mad. A Fate I would make a bajillion dollars. There's definitely some like internal reasoning that hasn't existed yet that like we're not privy to, because otherwise like that is such a slam dunk idea. Leeches and Unions where it's gonna stay. Maybe. It's a Bandai property, so like they have control over it. They can put it wherever. And like we've seen Union Arena properties in other card games, like My Hero is in Universes, so it's not like it's not like the IPs are completely tied to Union Arena. But Bleach, this specifically does feel like more of a IP built for Union Arena than it is built for its own game. You've missed nothing. It's really just a bunch of speculation on what the new Bandai game's gonna be. And then I'm gonna yap about Naruto for like forever because I freaking love that game. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Bleach is definitely an IP that is more better suited to be a Union Arena IP than it is to be like its own full game. So I would be surprised if it was that. I was talking about Burst Trigger and Build Divide, basically just have them work the same in damage, but instead of them being random cards and being forced to play a certain amount. So you're saying I could just play 0 and ignore the entire mechanic? Is that what it is? Maybe well, they're already above average with powerful cards. That's like the bit. And you can play any amount, but now you have more powerful cards, and you can take more damage. Like, that's how they already work. They're already, that was already the gimmick, is that the shot triggers were stronger, but they can kill you. It's not gonna be Zatch Bell. I'll tell you that right now. It's not gonna be Zatch Bell. That's already how they work, and like you have to play a certain amount so that people don't just play 0, because otherwise people would just play 0. You would just not play any of them. You'd maybe play like a play set of 1. You'd play like 4 of 1 of them, but you would just ignore the shot triggers because they're terrible and dumb and they kill you. You just wouldn't play them. But they're already supposed to be like, they're stronger, but I have a shot trigger, so they might kill you. Like, you just wouldn't play it. It would not be good. The mechanic is bad. Sorry. Okay, we're just saying random stuff. I'm just biggest fan of Bleach. I'm goddamn affected me to Bleach CCG. If you're just play the rest of the resource games, probably would not play. Yeah, it'd be pretty middling. I've seen people guessing Souls. I doubt it. I would be very surprised if it was a Souls TCG. Is Souls popular in Japan? How big is Dark Souls in Japan? I don't know. I'm not tapped in enough to be able to make assumptions about that. But I would be shocked if it was a Souls TCG. Really, in the starter deck, burst triggers are not any more powerful than any other deck. Well, I mean, it's a starter deck. Let's remember that. Remember, like, the starter deck cards probably aren't that good. But I know, like, the selling, like, not like an actualization, but the theoretical selling point concept behind the shot triggers was that they were supposed to be a little above rate, but they can kill you. Otherwise, like, you wouldn't play them. Yeah. Those people are very impressionable. Doesn't need to be good. Just looks at you. Oh, I mean, I think it would like make like people would buy. Obviously, people would like buy it, right? People would definitely buy it, but I don't know. Other like TCG fan bases there for Bandai to try to fit into. Seems so random. Yeah. Probably not. Yeah, the main contenders are, Bleach and Naruto. Dude, okay, I have actually. Speaking of Twitter, ragebait Twitter, I have been seeing some ragebait Twitter recently, and it's all One Piece players making jokes about Naruto coming out, and all of it is just, what if Naruto came out, but it was just One Piece? Wouldn't that be funny? Oh my gosh, guys, look, it's Naruto manga. I hate One Piece players. People would probably eat it up. But I get that this is a joke. I get that this is a joke. Made with AI? Oh, come on. Come on, One Piece players. Made with AI, probably, I don't care enough to investigate it if it is or not. I really don't care. The joke was already not funny. Now it's even worse. Oh, dude. But yeah, it's all like, and like, this is like, what, like, I don't know. It's like emblematic of what people are complaining about with Bandai, where Bandai just makes the same game over and over and over again. And people complain about that, but then the player base is like, actually, we love playing the same game over and over and over again. You know? So every time someone, like, every time I've heard a One Piece player make a joke about Bandai printing Naruto, it has always been with the presumed context that Naruto will be exactly like One Piece. Like, I saw some stupid tier list earlier of someone being like, all right, guys, I'm dropping the leader tier list for the first set of Naruto. Like, I hate One Piece players. You're assuming Naruto's going to have leaders. One of my biggest pet peeves in card games right now is every card game having a freaking leader for no reason at all. And people are like, well, One Piece has leaders, so surely Naruto will have leaders. I got to eat my Dunkin' food. I'm getting hungry. The One Piece card game has leaders, so surely Naruto will have leaders. That makes me irrationally angry. Let me way more mad than I need to be. But it does upset me. But also anything One Piece players do upsets me. So, like, you know, it's a lose-lose situation. Most ironically, yeah, right. I mean, yeah. I don't know. But the more I see it on my Twitter timeline, it's annoying. I am liking every single post, though, that I want them to bring back Naruto. Like, tweets like this are also really annoying, where people complain about they're complaining about the wrong thing. And it gets to a point where you're just shaking your fist at the sun. Like, these two things actually have nothing to do with each other. They're completely separate. But whatever. I just really hope that. Oh, I'm still in this post. I'm in the comments of this. That's awesome. Dude, I'd crash out. What was I reading? I like leaders, but it's been used. What do you think about? Oh yeah. I was gonna talk about Mythos. I forgot to do that. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'll go back into it. For leader coming in trash. Do you see the new Yu-Gi-Oh manga cards coming? Making it look exactly like the Tron. Water Bandai. I don't think I've seen the new manga cards. No, I don't think I've seen those yet. That sounds cool though. Actually, like the. Oh wait, no, they were just here, right? Was it this? Is there anything? I don't like this guy. Just broke in. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, they're printing like these. Is the oh no, I did see that. Yeah, it's the frame. They're using the old Bandai manga frame. Okay, yes, I do remember. I did see that. Yeah. I had to jog my memory there a little bit. The only leader game I like is Bakugan. This Bakugan doesn't have what? Bakugan doesn't have leaders. What are you talking about? And Transformers. Transformers. Is that even fair? I guess technically Transformers has a leader. I wouldn't also say Transformers doesn't have leaders. Neither of those games, Bakugan and Transformers, don't have leaders. In the context of like leaders that I'm complaining about them, like I wouldn't call those leader cards. Will be a Duel-Masters clone. I mean, I don't care. Didn't Niji Sanji like die and crash and burn? Weren't they like drama like 2 years ago or something? Didn't they like fumble? I don't remember. I thought they got into like deep doo-doo or something. Okay, I'm gonna try to admit those. Hey, this game sucks. This is definitely the biggest, like, signal that it might not be, might not be Naruto. Because then there would be 2 Naruto TCG, like, not even, like, games that share an IP, like Uni Arena and UVS, that are both IP slot games. This would be 2 entire Naruto TCGs on the market at the same time. Should be Little Akutako. So that does kind of shoot the Naruto theory in the foot, unfortunately. But man, oh man, would it be cool to get the actual Naruto TCG back, and not this stupid Riftbound clone Naruto sludge. I do not like this game. I think this game's boring and lame. But yeah, Tomi has okay, yeah, Tomi has it. I love that Takara Tomi has another TCG coming out. Just recross back in English. Whatever. I really don't care. But yeah, so this is the only thing that would make Naruto coming back, in the thing. Let me finish this real quick. So, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Was a Naruto TCG good? The Naruto TCG is one of the coolest games ever created. But old Naruto TCG was low-key peak. And we're going to discuss that. Because I just want to talk about it. Because I missed it, because I didn't play back when it was out. I was a child. So I missed the Naruto TCG. Man, it looked so good. Talk about the leader game. Most only have a single leader. Sort of. Well, the problem is, I don't know what you mean by Bakugan having leaders, but Transformers doesn't really have leaders. They are like the Transformer cards are like your central game piece, right? In leader game, a leader card is not a central game piece. It is just like a index card that sits on the board and has some words on it that matter every so often, right? Like when you look at any TCG with leaders, the leaders don't really like do anything. the most that the leader does is like, or like, maybe I shouldn't say they don't do anything, but like they're very like they are like very secondary and like removed from the main gameplay. So like Transformers and like Chaotic, right, doesn't really have leaders. Those are just like the creatures you're fighting with, and they're central to the gameplay, and everything's kind of built around that. Like Transformers, you have your Transformers that start on the board, and your deck is all of your attacks and upgrades and stuff, right? Yeah, that's kind of a good one. Leaders are boring commanders. They are this thing that sits like outside of the game, and then will sometimes do something that have relevance within it, right? But they are cards that just kind of like sit there almost externally of the game, right? One Piece gets to kind of cheat because they sit in the middle and they can attack, sort of like WeCross does, but they're not like extremely interactable. They only really exist so that you can print numbers on them. So Star Wars is actually a great example of what I'm talking about, because the Star Wars leaders start as a leader and then flip over and turn into a creature. So the Star Wars CCG shows like the delineation between a leader and then like an actual like game piece that you play with, because the Star Wars TCG has leaders that then turn into the game pieces that you play with and interact with, right? So like Transformers and Chaotic are like if the leaders just like started on the battlefield. They didn't actually have to be in like leader mode, right? Leaders, in the sense that I complain about them, is more stuff like One Piece, sort of Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball kind of gets the pass, even though it's like the worst version of the pass. Riftbound, right? Games where the leader is essentially a glorified index card. Force of Will transforming leaders, yeah. Force of Will was the first good example of leaders. I like when so like. I think there's a video where I say this. I can't remember which one it is though. I like leaders when they do transform and become actual game pieces, right? I love Star Wars leaders. I love Force of Will had perfected the system. The Force of Will rulers were beautiful. I don't like it when the leader is just some index card that sits on the table and has some words on it. What it actually functionally is a way to shortcut having to write a bunch of rules or make any actual interesting gameplay mechanics, because you can just route them through the leader. I think I complained about it in a Riftbound video. In like my initial reaction to Riftbound, I think I complained about. I go into what I don't like about leaders a little bit more. But yeah, the leader cannot be basically, in order to be a leader game, the leader piece cannot be necessary. Yeah, a lot of leader games you can like. The ones that I don't like are the games where you can delete the leader from the game and the core gameplay like doesn't change at all. Right? Basically nothing happens. Like the One Piece leaders only exist to give the player a number that the other cards have to attack over, but it's literally the same thing as Dragon Ball. Which is why I give Dragon Ball the pass. Dragon Ball, I don't like how it does leaders, because like, why do I have a Goku leader and a Goku on my board? Aren't these supposed to be two different things? That doesn't make any sense. But because of how Dragon Ball plays, you need to be able to give the player a creature stat, because you have Vanguard guarding from your hand. So you need to be able to assign a stat to the player that then the creatures the opponent attacks with have a number they need to like push over. So like leaders are a way to like shortcut that. Like Vanguard does it the most like elegant way of like you attack the Vanguard, not the player. Right? That's kind of the best way to do it. But there's just a lot of like leaders bother me because you can get really lazy with them. You can like shortcut a bunch of things via leaders and get really lazy, and it's really lame, and it takes away a lot of the flavor of the game. Leaders I like are leaders in games like Flesh and Blood and Universes, where the whole bit of the game is it's a fighting game and you're playing as the character, and the character card tells you all of your player stats. Like it tells, like in Universes, you get your health, your hand size, your disciplines, and then like some effects you can do. But you are playing as that character, and your attacks are like your deck and special moves, and the cards you play are like the actions that character is taking, right? And you need the index card to represent the necessary information you need to play the game. Whereas stuff like One Piece, Riftbound, to an extent Dragon Ball is just like, oh, like Riftbound is like, we don't want players to be able to play whatever colors they want. We need to hardlock people to 2 colors. How do we do that? We'll make a leader and be like, you can only play the same colors as your leader. And then how do we make the leaders actually do something? Let's put a continuous on them. And then boom, you're done. And that's it. And that's all the leader card does. It just tells you what colors your deck is, and then maybe you get a continuous that like kind of points you in a direction of what your deck should do. Right? You just have here's the fact you always have access to, build around it. And that's it. That's the extent of what the leader is and what it does, and that's like really lame and boring and dumb. And that's what bothers me. Did not mean to get on a leader rant. Let's talk about Naruto. Whoops, I didn't mean to hit that. Let's transition. Let's talk about Naruto. It's time for card game history education lesson. Naruto CCG edition. AKA one of the sickest games ever. Y'all about to learn some elite ball knowledge. Let me scooch this. Let me scooch this. Is that scooched enough? Sorta. Alright. Let's go over to the table cam, because I actually own Naruto cards. Isn't that awesome? Oh, just in time. Oh, dude, I don't know. Hololive, I don't want to go into the Hololive rant. I low-key kind of want to play Hololive, but then I look at it and I realize I don't really like Pokemon, so I'm probably not going to play Hololive. Also, Hololive is unnecessarily expensive. Why am I talking about Hololive? I hope you had fun at Hololive Local. I hope you have a blast at Hololive Locals. That sounds really fun. So yeah, that's what you're talking about, like literally. Hold on, let me go back to the. That's what we were talking about literally 2 seconds ago. All signs point to the Naruto TCG, and it's what I really want, except for one thing, and it is the fact that Naruto Mythos exists. This is the biggest, like, detractor from it being Naruto. But this game sucks balls, and I need it to die so that we can get the Naruto. I'm holding out hope anyways, and I also really just wanted an excuse to talk about the original Naruto TCG, because it's one of the greatest games ever created. It's one of the sickest games ever made. So we're just gonna, so, you know, even if it's not Naruto, joke's on you, you got tricked. This is just an excuse for me to talk about this card game, because I think it's really, really, really cool. And it's one of the sickest games of all time. So, let's dive in. Maybe I should zoom in. Check it out, chat. Boom! Super epic zoom in. You probably can't even, like, I don't know if you can read the cards, but it doesn't really matter. What about Naruto's Love Pain deck? Yep. Pain was in the game. He didn't come out for a while because the card game followed the anime timeline. So Pain didn't get released until set, like, I don't know, 10 or something. But it'd be kind of sick. So the Naruto card game. The first thing I like about this game, this is gonna sound stupid, but low-key, the Naruto card game has one of my favorite card frames I've ever seen. There's something about early 2000s nostalgia that just, I don't know, it just hits me. I can't really describe it. It just hits so good. So if people, you know, if you look at the Naruto TCG card frame and you're like, this looks like poop from a butt from 2002, I can't argue with you. But low-key, I really like poop from a butt from 2002. There's just something about this that's just got, it's just got swag. It's got aura. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a frame that I have somehow grown very attached to in my short time with this game. But how do you play the Naruto card game? Let's break it down. What's the best way to break it down? This game is nice because it's not just a straight Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh clone. Yes, it has some DNA from those games, right? It kind of has a very similar core to all of those games, but it has a lot of very, very, very unique things. Most of my knowledge comes from a Naruto TCG set perspective. Probably, yeah, that makes sense. There's not a lot of content about this game on the interwebs, and I only own cards because I bought like a random eBay lot because I just wanted to own stuff like a year ago or something. So let's talk about, you know, let's start where every card game likes to start. The resource system. Ooh, what's the resource system of the Naruto card game? Well, The resource that has 2 resource systems. The first one is turns. So in the Naruto card game, let me grab some buddies. In the Naruto card game, it's sort of like it's the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. So you build your deck with a bunch of ninjas. I'll get to the other card types in a second. There's 3 card types you need to know about. The first one is ninjas, right? It's Naruto. You build your deck out of ninjas. And it does the Yu-Gi-Oh bit of you just play 1 ninja per turn, right? You don't have to like, whoa, what did I just do? I closed everything. You don't have any, there's no like mana. Your resource is the Yu-Gi-Oh 1 guy a turn. You get 1 ninja a turn. But some of these cards do have costs. The first cost is this little ninja star here. All the cards can only be played on specific turns. So for example, this Sasuke has a 0. That means you can play him on turn 0, which is turn 1 of the card game. The turn counter starts at 0. So you can play him on the first turn of the game. Then you have like this Naruto. He's got a 1. That means you can play him on turn 1 and on. And it just scales up from there. This Ibiki is playable on turn 3 and onwards. And this third Hokage is playable on turn 6 and onwards. And then some of them have entrance costs with this little hand symbol over here. Some cards, you got to pay a little extra cost. A lot of the early game cards, it's 0. As you can see here, but the third Hokage, he costs 1. You have to take a card out of your hand and you put it into the chakra area. What the heck is the chakra area? Well, it's sort of like a graveyard. Let's talk about the second card type, the spell cards. But they're not spell cards. They're actually, I guess they're like actions. Mission cards. These little blue buddies. Wondering why he brought up Naruto as you're already getting a new Naruto TCG? Because I really hope the new Bandai game is a revival of this game, because this game's peak and really, really good. So you have mission cards. These are sort of like your spells. They're your little one-time use action cards, right? They also have a turn cost. They'll have a little entrance cost, so you got to pay for them. And then they'll have an effect, right? This one, what is this? You rip some cards out of your opponent's thing. All right. But then once these cards are spent, if y'all are familiar with Naruto, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It goes to your chakra area, which is sort of like a graveyard and mana zone combined. So this card goes over to your chakra area. And then when your ninjas die, when your ninjas are killed, they also go to the chakra area. They don't go to the graveyard. If this Sasuke dies, he goes to the chakra area, right? And this is how you build up your second resource, chakra. All of the cards have elements. There's like 4 elements in the game. It's like fire, water, lightning, and earth. And they're little this symbol, and this symbol is also a resource. And you use that symbol on the actual spell cards or the jutsu. If you guys have seen Naruto, you remember jutsu. Jutsus, instead of having to cost either turn count or cards in your hand, they cost chakra. So in this case, this twin snake sacrifice jutsu costs 1 water chakra and 1 anything chakra. And to cast this, you have to spend cards out of your chakra area. And you gotta take these and then you put them in your graveyard. So the more cards you play in the game, the more you build up resources to play your big cool spells later on. The cool thing about the jutsus is that, unlike the missions, which some missions also are like enchantments, they'll stay in play for like an amount of time and either pop themselves or they can get popped. The jutsus aren't like spells you can just cast. They are spells that your ninjas have to cast. So in order to cast any jutsu, you have to have a ninja on board that can play it. So some jutsus you can just do whatever you want with. Other ones have requirements. So this one is a special Jonin or higher rank. In Naruto, all the cards have a bunch of traits here down at the bottom. And these are anything like Leaf, the village he's from, male, Sasuke is a boy, Sharingan Eye is a trait, but they'll also have a ninja rank. So Sasuke is a Genin. That means he's kind of weak and dumb and bad. And then it kind of goes up from there. So like the third Hokage is the village leader, right? Ibiki, he's a special Jonin. And if we look, the requirements on Twin Snake Sacrifice Jutsu are special Jonin or higher. This means that Ibiki can use the Twin Snake Sacrifice Jutsu, right? But you can't play this unless you have an EB key on your field to use it. This is a mechanic that I think would be really, really cool if other games stole. I like the idea of, like, you, the player, don't cast the spells. It's your creatures on board that cast the spells. And you can't cast the spell unless you have a creature to cast it. I think that's a cool gimmick. I really like that gimmick. I think it's really, really, really cool. And I like it a lot. And that's all the card types. And that's how you play cards. How do you win the freaking game? Let's talk about that. You would talk more like Gauge area from Buddy Fight rather than a Grave? Yeah, it is like Gauge. The only thing about it is that, like, the reason I call it a Grave, it's because you have to, like, to fill it up, you have to spend cards to get it there. So you either have to, like, pay entrance costs, where, like, if I want to play this third Hokage, I got to take a card from my hand to put it in the chakra area. So you have to, like, discard a card, essentially. Or you have to get chakra by activating spells, and then instead of them going to the grave, they go to the little chakra zone. Or you have to sacrifice your guys to put them in the chakra zone. So, to me, gives me secondary graveyard vibes. But I like the idea. I like it a lot. I think it's really, really cool. But yeah, it's not like Enter. It's a lot like Enter. Where, like, in Recross, when your units die, instead of hitting the graveyard, they go to the Enter, and then from Enter, they hit the bin. It's a lot like Enter. Which, luckily, I think this game came out before Recross. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Primal is the attempted a revival of a spiritual revival of this game. So, when the game died, because I caught up to the anime and ran out of source material, fans kept the game going with, like, 3 extra sets. And then it kind of petered out. And people still play it. There's a Discord for it. If you still want to play the game, people still play it. But some people got the idea to make a, like, spiritual successor by, like, taking all the rules and mechanics and just reskinning the game as an original IP, and releasing on Kickstarter. Unfortunately, the game kind of looks like buns, so I'm hoping that Bandai just gives us the game back so we can play it again, because this game is super, super fun and sick. Let's talk about how you win. You win by dealing damage to your opponent. It's like, I can never remember exactly. It's like reverse, you take, if I'm not mistaken, the way it works is when you deal damage to them, you get what's called a battle reward. And it's basically just damage in Vanguard. The way it's worded is so confusing. I'm just going to explain it wrong for the sake of ease of understanding, because I can't even remember what it is, because the way it's worded is so confusing. When you deal damage to your opponent, they take a card off the top of their deck and they put it in the damage zone, and they die at 10 damage. And it's just Vanguard damage. The way they word it is you would take a battle reward, which makes it sound like prizing in Pokemon. And I think the way it works is you're supposed to take a card off the top of their deck and put it into your battle reward area. And it's like when you collect 10 battle rewards, you win, but it's literally Vanguard damage that's coming from their deck. It's super freaking weird. It's super freaking weird. Bleach of the old Naruto CCG system, that'd be kind of cool. There was also, at the same time, there was a Dragon Ball game that came out that had the same system as this game. But that game didn't do very well. But they already have the Dragon Ball game, so I'm hoping they just bring us back Naruto. I would take that, though. If it was Bleach with the Naruto mechanics, I would take it. The chakra thing won't make much sense, but I would take it. I do think Naruto's a better, I think card game-wise, I think Naruto's a better IP for a card game. I think the world is more suited for it. But I wouldn't be, like, super complaining if that's what it was, if it was a Bleach game. Let's talk about how to deal damage. So, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Combat. Literally, we're saying, yeah, right, it's literally Vanguard damage. It's just, like, worded and performed in this confusing backwards way. It's easy, it's just way easier to think about it. It's literally Vanguard damage. You hit them, they take a damage. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Attacking. You don't tap anything. You just go, I attack a deck. I declare attack with Sasuke Uchiha at your village. And then it's like Magic, where everything inherently has blocker. And your opponent can be like, I don't like that. I'm going to block. It's Magic attacking, where you have to declare it all at once, and then your opponent does all the blockers at once, and blah, 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 blah. How does damage work? So, all of the characters have stats. They have a little number on the left and a little number on the right. And you would be remiss to think that this is power and toughness. It is not power and toughness. It is a combat stat and a support stat. So the way this works is in Naruto, you don't just attack with one buddy at a time. You can attack in teams. And this way that this works is you can build a team of 3 ninjas. let's just use these buddies. All right. You can stack your ninjas on top of each other to construct a team of ninjas. And the way it works is that you choose one head ninja to be in the front of the team. And the head ninja is going to use his combat stat. And then the two ninjas that are in the back, they're going to use this back stat, the support stat. And then you combine all of those stats into one big number to hit your opponent with. So some ninjas are good at power. They got a lot of power. They hit hard. And some ninjas are more better suited to be support ninjas. So that gimmick is really, really cool. So you could just like try to aggro chip down your opponent with 3 wide small attacks, or you can stack all your ninjas into one big super team to only deal 1 damage, but make it much harder to block. So like the combat math in this game is super interesting. Also, you'll notice there's some more numbers on the side. The way you kill guys is you have to hit them twice. If your ninja takes any damage whatsoever, instead of like having a health stat, they just have a state. So this guy's in healthy state. If he takes a damage, he'll get tapped, go to injured state, and then he'll use his injured stats. So some characters will get weaker when they're injured. Ibuki's a 3-2, but when he's injured, he's a 2-1. So when he gets injured, he's going to lose some stats. Other characters like Naruto Uzumaki kind of like to get hurt. He's a 0-0 at the start. That freaking sucks. But once he gets injured, he's a 3-0. So Naruto's great because you can throw him out as a chump blocker, let him get injured, and now you can use his attack stat now that he's injured to fight people. And then obviously, if you kill something that's injured, then it dies for real and goes away. Goes into your chakra area. Basically, every card has 2 lives, but once they lose a life, they'll also lose some stats. Also important to note, any injured ninja loses all of their effect text, unless the effect says valid. Like on this Sasuke, it says the effect is valid. That means that the effect still exists if he's injured. But typically, once a character gets injured, they lose their effect. Which is kind of swag. What else? That's the gist, right? Am I missing anything? You're talking about the head ninja 2 supported. Yeah. Let me think real quick. Am I missing anything? I think that's that's all you really need to know to like understand the game. Decks are 40 cards, 3 copies. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh deck building thing. I think that's it. And most of the game is you just every turn you play ninja, and then you can attack, and then you can play more ninja, and then once you played enough ninja, you build team of ninja, and then you throw a team of ninja and go boom. And then you cast actions to build chakra, and then you spend the chakra to cast jutsus, and these are almost always combat tricks. I think it's like every time you attack, and then like after blockers are declared, there's an exchange of jutsu phase where you play these like instants and like wacky combat tricks. It's really swag. Oh yeah, victory not standing victory. So I low-key forget it. But it's if when you're fighting, combat is bigger number wins. And if your combat stat, I think it's 5 bigger than your opponent's, you deal like damage. Is it what? Damage to the entire team? Or do you deal damage to the entire team no matter what? No, I think you only damage the head ninja. If you win the combat, you only injure the head ninja. If you're 5 bigger than them, you get like an outstanding victory, and I think you injure the entire team. You either injure the entire team or you double injure the head and kill it instantly. And the same goes for attacking directly. I think for every increment of 5 combat, you take an extra battle reward. So like if you hit someone for 5, you'll take 2. And if you hit them for 10, you'll take 3, I think is the math and how it works. I could be mistaken. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I was busy doing stuff. Bandai came out of nowhere with this stupid announcement, so I didn't quite have time to prep and remember all the Naruto knowledge. I think it's 5. And you injure the entire team if you're bigger than them, if you're 5 bigger. But correct me if I'm wrong, Twitch chat. Yeah, this game is super freaking cool. It's really fun. It's a really, really fun game. And I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's one of those games. It's not one of those like stupid on rails games where you just go like, I'm gonna take my turn, do my game actions, ship my board at you, and then pass. This is one of those Magic Yu-Gi-Oh games where like your combat decisions are very, very important and matter a lot. Making sure that you're always playing a ninja every turn is incredibly important. If you miss a ninja turn, you're like super behind for the rest of the game. But like there's a bunch of shenanigans you can do with like whether or not you try to stack your team together or you split it into 3 and try to chip into your opponent. There's a ton of stuff you can do. It's really freaking cool. Oh, it's both you injured the entire team that had ninja. Okay, it's both. So if you get the outstanding victory, if you're 5 bigger than your opponent's blockers, you double injure their head ninja, so you kill it, and then you also injure both their supports. So you have to be really careful about the stats you're making. So like team compositions are really important. Being able to make proper stats is huge. There's also, I'm not gonna talk about mental power. It's a gimmick that is not important to understand. Yeah, this game's awesome. This game's so cool. The set 1 meta was kind of funky. Because there were 2 super broken cards. Every meta deck in set 1 was some version of a fire water deck because of these 2 busted odd jutsus. We'll start with this one, the water style giant vortex jutsu. This was a card that basically just said you win the game, sort of. It's triple water chakra, and it's you need a Jonin. You target every ninja battling against the user. So if you swing and your opponent blocks you, you target every ninja battling against you, and you bounce them all back to your opponent's hand. Now remember, this game is Yu-Gi-Oh, where you can only summon one. You only get 1 normal a turn, right? So for all my Yu-Gi-Oh duelists out there, how good do you think Bounce 3 is? Yeah, this card catapults you ahead of your opponent. If you resolve a giant vortex jutsu, you basically are winning the game. You're miles ahead. This card's crazy and was meta defining. But shocker, this wasn't even the most broken jutsu in the set. No, the most broken jutsu in the set, and arguably for the entire game, is this demon right here. The 8 trigram divination seal spell formula. Yeah, that's a mouthful. This card is crazy broken. So what does it do? Well, it's a how many ninjas you can play, like have in play. What? Get out of here. What are you talking about? Deleted. Heading out to my locals. Good luck. Good luck with locals. Good luck with locals. At least the teacher I learned. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, mental. I don't need to get into mental power to like for you to understand how the game works. You know what I mean? It's like one of them core rules. I'll talk about it in a second. I need to talk about this stupid card. This thing's bonkers. But yeah, limits how many ninjas you could play. You had to play. It was at the start of the game. Is you had to play 20, or what was it? The limit was 25. Yeah, the cap was you could play 25 ninjas in your deck. That was the cap. It was 25, and every deck just played 25 because you needed to play a ninja every turn. So your deck was always 25 ninjas, and then you had 15 slots left. So you'd play either 7 jutsu and 8 missions, or you'd play 8 jutsu, 7 missions. And every deck kind of followed that formula. But this card's bonkers. Let's talk about this card really quick. It's 2 fire chakra. You need a Jonin or higher, which I think is like most like turn 4 ninjas and on. It's like your normal thing. Board limit. You could have as many stuff as much. I think you could have as much as you want on your field. If I recall correctly, it's as much as you want. There was no cap, but there also wasn't any like special summoning really or anything. You were straight up just playing 1 ninja every turn. So your boards wouldn't get out of hand unless no one blocked ever, right? If no one blocked ever, your boards could get big, but for the most part, they stayed relatively fine. This card is pretty simple. You just target a ninja, and you move the target back on top of its original owner's deck. It's pretty good. It's Ryza on a jutsu. You know, that's not terrible. But it's pretty innocuous. I mean, what was it? Phoenix Wing Blast? Phoenix Wing Blast on a jutsu is pretty good. The fun fact about this card is, remember, chat. A, these are instants. B, these need to be cast by your ninjas. You can't play a jutsu without a ninja on your board. I'll put third Hokage on the board. So what would happen is, let's say your opponent attacks you, and then you block it, right? And your opponent goes, check this out. I'm going to cast water-style giant vortex jutsu on you. Gah. Well, you get a chance to respond. And you can go, you know what? I'm going to cast this 8 trigrams sealed divination spell sludge formula. I'm going to put your Ibuki back on top of your deck. All right, let's resolve the chain, right? This resolves, you put the Ibuki back on top of their deck. Oh, he's gone. I'll draw it next turn and replay him, whatever. But now, there's no longer a ninja to cast this water vortex jutsu. That's tough, dog. I guess you just spent 3 water chakra for nothing. Get this out of here. Yeah, this was basically the best counterspell ever. This card was crazy. So if your opponent ever... So not only is this like a good tempo play, because you put the card back on top of their deck, that means they're dead drawing next turn, and they have to recommit their normal to get that guy back out on the board. But also, it's a counterspell. This card's ridiculous. The fact that this got printed is kind of crazy. So the whole meta of set 1 was built around these 2 cards, and then one other card that I don't have because it wasn't in my bulk, but it was the Sharingan Eye, which just said you negated jutsu. It was like 1 in a fire to negate a jutsu. I can't remember if it did anything else, but I know it negated jutsu. So you would run it so you can negate your opponent's divinations, right? Or technically they're water styles, but it was mostly to negate the divinations so you could get your water spells through. And every single game of set 1 would be the players dirtling around, twiddling their thumbs, getting a bunch of chakra and drawing a bunch of cards until someone finally pulled the trigger and casted a giant vortex, and then both players would then just go like, 8 trigrams, Sharingan Eye, 8 trigrams, Sharingan Eye, 8 trigrams, Sharingan Eye, and then whoever won the like counterspell war would win the game. It was kind of crazy. Some people could think it's kind of cringe. I think it's kind of cool, especially for a set 1 meta, which, like, yeah, having tier 0 broken fire water deck out the gate is kind of lame. But granted, I would honestly take counterspell war deck, like counterspell war skill intensive dragon roller mirror match over mono red Bandai aggro sludge. I would take that over any day of the week. Yeah, set 1's cool, and everything else in set 1 was kind of like bad in comparison. Like, the only other counterspell in set 1, I think I have it, was this. It was Hidden Mist Jutsu. This card sucks. It's 2 water chakra. You don't need to have any like big guy on your board to cast. Anyone can cast it, but you just target a jutsu being played, you negate it, and you put it back in its owner's hand. So, like, yeah, they spend the chakra on it, but like they just cast it again and they blow you up anyway. Like, it's not... This card's really bad, especially compared to the better counterspell that actually removes the jutsu and is a removal spell, right? It just makes this card poopy butt in comparison. But I guess you technically could play it. So yeah, the way you break this cycle, okay. And then they introduced a mechanic. I think was it set 2? I don't think it was in set 1. Yeah, all my cards for it are from set 2. This is a broken set 3 card that we'll talk about. Then they introduced this mechanic called mental power. Some ninjas don't fight with their fists. They fight with their mind. So some characters have a mental power stat. You see Ibiki here, he has mental power 1. It's not really in focus, you can't see. He has mental power 1. Some cards would let you do a thing called a mental power battle. At the time, Ibuki was the best for this because he could just do it himself. He says when this ninja is battling against the opponent as the attacker... when this ninja is battling against the opponent as the attacker, which means if you're attacking with Ibuki and he gets blocked, this ninja's team and the opponent's ninja's team perform a mental power battle. This means you kick out all the stupid stats down here and you fight using your mental power stat. Now, Ibuki only has mental power 1. That can't be very good. Well, guess what? Most of the other cards in the game don't have mental power at all. So you could do this like it's like alt fighting style, to beat people with mental power instead of combat power. So like that's how you would eat through people's like giant bombs. So mental power decks became a thing, and they were mostly in Earth. Yeah, most of the mental power cards were in Earth. Mental power became a thing. I think it was set 3. Okay, yeah, this might be set 3. No, this is set 3. Because set 2 is the Gourd set, I think. No, I think Gourd set is... I don't remember. I had it up earlier. I forget which set is which. These came out, and then the stupid... It was set 4 or 5, whatever Revenge and Rebirth was. It's set like that broke the game. They printed this stupid Ashikamaru, who says when this ninja is sent out to battle and if he's blocked, you swing and he's blocked, you can discard 2 cards from your hand to make a mental power battle. This guy is freaking mental power 4. He's mental power freaking 4. So basically what Shikamaru said is you win every mental power fight. You just win every mental power fight, and he's a turn 0 ninja. Ibuki's turn 3. This guy you drop on turn 1. This freaking IQ of 200 or higher. This Shikamaru was big. So you eventually ended up having like big mental power Shikamaru decks running around. And what you could also do is you don't even have to have a mental power battle deck. Now that you have mental power 4 Shikamaru, you can just tech him into any deck you want to be able to just kill whatever you want. Like your opponent has a 6 power 4th Hokage on their board. Oh well, I'll play my 0-drop Shikamaru, swing, and if you block it, I just get to discard 2 cards to injure it for free. Mental power 4 Shikamaru, go kind of crazy. So you could like tech in, like once you got the ability for cards to perform mental power battles on their own, you could tech in things like these to be like pseudo removal spells and ways to just kind of like force damage. It was kind of swag. And then like there are a bunch of other like famously broken cards that were released. Like where do I have them? Yeah, I have a Control of Power Naruto, otherwise known as Cop Naruto. This card is straight up just Card Trooper in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's straight up Card Trooper. He's during the exchange of Jutsu, you can discard the top 2 cards of your deck to give him +1/+0 during this turn, and you can do it 3 times per turn. So if you want, you could just mill yourself 6 to make him to give him +3, so he can be a 3 on his own. But then when he's injured, you can make him a 6. So if you like chump block with him, you can make him a turn 0 6 power body. He was broken. It's part of the combo that forced you to block an attack whenever you ever blocked him into vanilla. Yes. So then there's a card, I don't own it, but there was a card you can pair with them to force blockers and then turn their effects off, and then just blow them up with 6/5, and then make your Naruto as big as you needed him to be to blow them up. This card is really cool and straight up Card Trooper. What else? There's Genin Sasuke is okay. This was a good, or no, not this one. Where this was a good set 1 Naruto. You played this guy in most of the Fire Water meta decks, where he's a 0-drop 1 power dude, but he has a valid effect of when this ninja's while he's injured and he fights by himself, he gets +X/+O, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So if you drop him early and you chump block with him, he's like a 5 power guy by himself. So he's a really good early game dude. The problem is he falls off late game when like A, your hand isn't as big, and B, you don't want him to fight alone as much because like his stats aren't quite big enough. But in the early game, this thing was kind of shnasty. Because he would just get big by himself. So you play a lot. You play full play sets of him in most of the meta decks. What other broken cards came out? This Sasuke is kind of disgusting. He's a turn 1 ninja. This Beyond the Limit Sasuke. It's just that this ninja can use Chidori without paying the jutsu cost. So you just got to spam Chidoris for free. And Chidori was a card that like it gave you stat boosts, and I think let you do extra damage, or no, Chidori let you deal damage to the entire team. That was the bit, I think. And then Rasengan was like the worst version of Chidori, where you like blow up the whole team. I don't remember. Chidori let you get massive and do some damage. So Sasuke kind of crazy. Naruto is water, not wind. No, Naruto is lightning. Naruto's a lightning ninja. And he's been lightning. That Naruto is banned. I don't think Cop Naruto was ever banned. Was he banned? He might have been. No. Was Cop Naruto ever banned? But yeah, Naruto, for some reason, he was always lightning. Granted, this was before they figured out that his, like, element... Because Naruto doesn't figure out that he has wind chakra until, like, late Shippuden. Or, like, mid Shippuden. So, like, Naruto never really had an element associated with him until Shippuden. So they made him lightning. Because I think Sakura's wind. Do I have a Sakura? I don't think I do. Not in this pile. I have her somewhere. Sakura's an air ninja. And then Sasuke's fire, because, he's got the fireball jutsu. Yes, yeah, +7/+0, and you hit the hold, and you deal the damage to the entire team. So you would just make Sasuke a 10. And you could just blow people up. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Yeah, Cop Naruto, never banned. Just a very, very strong card. Just a meta menace. Was one of the Shikamaru... No, I don't think the Shikamaru was banned either. I'd have to go back and remember. It's been so long since I, like, actually deep dove this game. It was, like, years ago. But yeah, Sasuke could just get +7/+0 for free and just wipe teams. It was pretty schnasty. But I really hope that Bandai brings this game back. This game was so cool. What was Late Arrival? Oh, and Late Arrival Kakashi is like whatever. Yeah, no, this game was lit. This game was so cool. So, like, yeah, Naruto Mythos is a game that exists, so that might make it awkward IP-wise. But if I had my way, I sincerely hope Bandai brings this game back in some capacity. Because this game is actually so much fun. And there just isn't really a card game on the market anymore that plays like it. The closest you can get is, like, maybe Elestrals, but I hate that game's art, and it still doesn't play quite the same as Naruto. I would love to see this game come back, especially because then it wouldn't be like another Bandai slop game. It wouldn't be just like a Bandai game again. It would actually be like its own game, which would be so exciting, but I don't know if we'll see it. Maybe their workaround is that they release it as the Boruto game, and that way it's like there's Naruto Mythos and then the Boruto CCG, and that's how they like stay in their own lanes. Like, that would make... I think I could get behind that. I think that would make a lot of sense. Let me go back to Big Cam. Let me go back to the Big Yapper Cam. So maybe that's like the gimmick they do, is that they do it as, like, the Boruto game, and then the Naruto Mythos can just stay Naruto. I could maybe see that. Full Inspection, truly the most broken card. Swag. I wish I owned a Swag Kage, so I could talk about him. Dude. Swag Kage is like Exiled Force on a bomb. It's like if Exiled Force was a normal summon with Monarch stats. Like, Swag Kage was crazy, or Bro Kage as they call it, because he's broken. That card's crazy. Yeah, I wish I owned it so I could talk about it. There were some broken cards in this game, but they were like broken in a fun way, and I feel like broken in like a fun to remember way. Not like broken, if you had to use One Piece terms, like not like broken and like remembering when Whitebeard was crazy, but like broken in a way like fondly remembering like old, in a way that's like fondly remembering old Yu-Gi-Oh formats of being like, yeah, remember back in remember Card Trooper in 2007, remember like Caius in 2010, like these like fun like staple good cards. Oh, I hate Boruto. I think Boruto sucks. I was so mad when I read the manga. I thought it was going to be really, really good, and it wasn't. It made me mad. But I think that's, like, if they want to work around the Naruto Mythos debacle, that's probably the way that, like, they would have to do it. If it ends up actually being an issue that there is already a Naruto TCG that's circulating and is released, I would imagine that would be, like, the way that they do it. But yeah. Bandai's gonna do Tales of TCG? Maybe? That would feel like a Japanese only. That's like Fire Emblem Cypher tier, and feels like a game that would be locked to Japan, right? That would be more of like a JP only kind of deal. I don't think they would global a Tale. Maybe they would. I don't know if they would global release a Tales game. There is a Trails TCG. There is an English Trails TCG if you prefer the Trails series, but I don't know about Tales of. That feels like good in Japan. Not sure how it would do in America. But the fact that it's like the biggest hints that we have about Twin Blue Vortex, the older version of Boruto. What? Oh, I didn't read. Oh yeah, right. Doesn't Boruto have its own like Shippuden thing? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't read it. So I read Boruto up to the end. I think I read the end of Boruto. I never went to Twin Blue Vortex. So I was so mad at the ending. It's not going to be a new Tenant TCG, bro. Hate Trails? All right, never mind. Never mind. Don't play the Trails games. Don't play the Trails. Yeah, it's like remembering Penguin Tops from Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, that's a good example. Like these fun, like good, but like fondly remembered fun cards. I haven't read like the Boruto Shippuden because I just didn't like the original, the regular Boruto. So I don't even know if it's good or not. I have no clue. I read up to the time skip and was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't care. I only read Boruto because I saw a tweet that made me think it was going to be a lot better than it actually was, and I was very let down by that tweet. I felt very betrayed, so I did not continue. I did not continue. Ton of manga next. Okay. Yes, I have no opinions. The biggest clue that we have, though, I said this a little earlier, but I'll restate it. The biggest clue right now that we have is there's a cosmic tweet saying it's gonna be a big one. Like this isn't gonna be some random IP. Right, it's gonna be decently sized, and then there's just Jeff Jones' tweet about he's known about it for 2 years, right? So it's a game that has like they've been developing it for 2 years for some reason, but then he replies with yes, it is what you think it is. So it's probably not like unless this is all bait. This could just be Jeff Jones bait for some reason. All right, let's go peruse Jeff Jones' Twitter just in case. It could be Jeff Jones bait, but I doubt it. Oh, Bandai designer is crazy. Does this matter? Okay. It could be bait, but I feel like it's enough of a clue to get semi excited. If it's enough to justify my faith that Naruto's coming back, I will take it. I will take it. Does this mean anything? I didn't even read this. Does this mean anything? You know, come. Is this a clue, chat? Is this a clue? Hold on, chat. I'm investigating. This might just be him making fun of Mythos. This might just be him making fun of Mythos. I don't know. I shouldn't get too in the weeds. I need to be smart. I need to chat. I need to use my brain. Let's not get too in the weeds. Let's not go crazy conspiracy theory route. Let's dial it back. Let's reframe. Let's chill before we get too crazy. Yeah, I get every single board with Frankie saying the manga is better. Trust me, bro. Never lives up to their hype. Yeah. That's a good point. Trails version. Why not Tails? Well, because the Trails game is probably it might even already be out, and you've never heard of it before, and there's a good reason for that, right? It's not very popular. Alpino AI installing done soccer collab with Vanguard. Yeah. Kishona fans are easily amused. For real. For real. No, the Boruto thing is I saw it's not even like I was told it was good. I saw a very specific tweet that was about the ending and got me very excited, but the way, because the tweet like wasn't a lie, it was like correct, but like the way that I don't want to spoil anything unless we care about Boruto spoilers, which we might not. Play League. I can't play League. That game's not for me. That game is not for me. Maybe once I like my League desire cooldown is reset, but I'm not a League guy. That is not my game. That is very much not my game. I'm not a League person, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know if you care about Boruto spoilers, but it's a very specific tweet that talked about how I didn't realize it was at the time how it ends, but it talked about how it ends, and I'm like, oh, that's a super awesome, cool idea. I actually really want to read the manga now so I can see that ending. And then I read the manga, and the way it achieves that ending is worse than I could have ever possibly imagined. It was actually disgusting, and made me very, very upset, and I stopped reading. That's fair? Yeah. It's, we tried League. I tried it. I can't, it's not for me. I like the idea of League. I like League conception. I like watching League YouTube videos. But actually playing League is not for me. I am beyond garbage at League. It is not my strong suit. We'll say that. Let's say that. Don't care about spoilers in this house. End of One Piece is Luffy fans of One Piece. Okay, well, it's a little different. It's a little different. This one's a little different. But like, I don't know. Basically, I saw a tweet about how Boruto ends, and I'm like, that's such a freaking cool idea. I need to read the manga to see how they get to that point. And I was reading, I'm like, this isn't really going where that tweet said it ended. And then I got to the ending and went, oh, that's the laziest, dumbest, and worst thing I've ever seen of all time. It was so bad. It was so bad. Basically, just don't read the Boruto manga. It's extremely mid. It's super mid. I mean, if you're a Naruto diehard, then like by all means, but like it's pretty bad. It's not a. Also, everyone complaining that they're like, oh man, big news today for people that like card games to get supported for 2 years. When was the last time a Bandai game died? When was the last time an IP game died? Right? Like, these games don't like get pump and dumped. They have player bases. They're just not like the most popular things ever, but that's because their ability is their ability to be popular is tied to the inherent popularity of the IP that already exists. Like, I don't know what you're complaining about. Why don't you like your one girl with the ability to brainwash everyone? I honestly don't even remember like how it happens. I just remember it being stupid. I think, right, wasn't that yeah, it was what, some one chick that can do it, that she flipped everyone's brain? I don't remember. It was dumb. It was so lazy. If it would have naturally gotten to that point, oh, that would have been actually a peak idea. But the fact that it doesn't, they just go, actually, check this out. Like, that was so lame and lazy. It's just that you mentioned in your Vanguard rant, and it was a perfect analogy. Oh, yeah. So, like, I have a lot of passive knowledge about League, because I like watching League. I really like watching, like, League content. But, like, playing it, I'm not built for it. I can't do it. It's not... it's one of those, like, I'm so bad at it, it's hard to enjoy. Like, I can play games like Rainbow Six Siege, which I'm also terrible at, but they're fun. And I have fun playing them. League is one where it's like, I am so bad that I'm like, I can't have fun. I like the idea. The only league I played is Pokemon Unite, which I played for a bit. I played Pokemon Unite for a little bit. That game was, like, fun enough, but not enough for me to, like, keep playing it. Like, Pokemon Unite's also one of those, too, where I'd play and be like, I could really just be playing a League right now. Like, I don't really like Pokemon enough to be like, no, I have to be able to play as Garchomp. It's like, I could just go play League at that point. I'd honestly, I'd just play League at that point. If I ever enjoyed Pokemon Unite, and I'm like, I could just be playing League. I could just be playing League right now. Actually, I could just play League. Well, not to, like, knock the game. The game's fun enough, just not really for me. So yeah, chat, we're leaning... Oh, yeah, I saw this stupid tweet. Set one leader tier list for Bandai's Naruto CCG, which is actually so... I could complain about this on so many levels. I think the worst part is you went, all right, a bunch of characters from Season 1, one very popular character, but he appears way later, and then Itachi Uchiha for some reason. Why is he like? Why? You know what I mean? It's like if you're gonna make the joke, at least make the joke make sense, man. Like, come on, dude. Ugh, whatever. Twitter rambles from that Vanguard. Yeah, basically. Basically, it's time for more rage bait Twitter. It's time for more Twitter rage bait. I think that's all the info that really exists around the new Bandai game. That's about it. I think the most realist. So I think I mean, it was good early set of Naruto. Sure, he was good, but like, I'm saying that this clearly would not be. This would clearly not be a set 1. Right? This would obviously not be a set 1. If you're gonna make a joke about set 1 leaders, at least print some leaders that would actually appear in a set 1, not be 90% of the way there and then one random outlier. You know, that bothers me. That bothers me. If we're gonna make the joke internally consistent. So I think to conclude new TCG theory crafting, it is either going to be Naruto, that's my main hope. Bleach, I could see. A brand new IP, or an original IP, which I highly doubt, but would be extremely excited for. An IP that we're just not thinking of, that's completely new. Or maybe some sort of, yeah, you said it, some sort of Power Ranger Sentai IP, which is like, maybe I could see it. I would not be surprised. I'd maybe even play it. Those are kind of the front runners right now. All that's really left to do is wait, chat, until Thursday. And during the Thursday, so this upcoming Thursday, there will be a stream where we will not review, but like we will react to the new Bandai TCG. Ask me, I want it to be SAO TCG. Go play White Schwartz and Union Arena. Just go play Union Arena. I think SAO is actually like, good in Union Arena. It's at least like semi-tiered. Go play Union Arena. You got SAO and Union Arena, and it looks good. And the card and the foils look great. Go play Union Arena. Problem solved. Yeah, I really want it to be Naruto. I think the Naruto card game is so freaking cool. Or honestly, I'll take any IP if they stick it in the Naruto rule set. And as long as you make the jutsus still make sense. But if you just stick the game in the Naruto rule set, I'd be happy with that. I would be satisfied. I just want to play the Naruto TCG. Because it looks so fun, dude. It looks so fun. I think also, chat, Deer Days is worth buying. It's too expensive. Don't buy Deer Days. Literally don't buy Deer Days. Don't buy Deer Days unless the only way you can play Vanguard is like alone in your room. If you can only play Vanguard like by yourself on your computer at home, then buy Deer Days. But if not, if you have a locals, if you can have people online you can play with, if you have other avenues of playing Vanguard, do those. Don't buy Deer Days. But if your Deer Days is your only way to play Vanguard, then by all means go do it. But I would not recommend it. Portal is fixed. Oh, frick, guys, I gotta do my scans. I think I have scans available. Let me check. Do I have Portal to Param scans? Hold up. Let me log in. I low-key forgot. Yeah, Deer Day sucks. Any info on Power Road? What do you mean info? What info do you want? Describe info. Naruto is... yeah, that game looks okay. Girl, she ain't that... yeah, not really. Yeah. What do you mean by info? Personally, yeah, I mean, I'd love a new IP the most. I just don't think it's a smart idea. I just don't think it's a very good idea. Oh, I can do some scans. Let me do my scans while we talk. Hold up, I gotta sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. Boom. Click my reward. Guys, we finally unlocked, sorry, real quick chaotic tangent. We finally finally got the Glue Muck Swamp scan, so we can finally portrait the swamp and maybe get interest. Let's go, baby. Okay, okay, anything. Okay, I can talk about Power World. Fun fact. I totally forgot to last night because I was way too busy with stuff. My locals got the Power World demo. Somehow, because they basically stopped stocking Bushy games. So I don't know how they got that. But my locals, for some random reason, has the Power World demo. So I will be playing it at some point. I just don't know when because there's no locals next week because of the stupid Magic pre-release. So I got to figure out when I'm going to play it. But, ooh, I got a rare. It doesn't look good. It doesn't have any water in it, so I don't really care. I will be playing Power World. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen enough about it to technically be able to yap about it. So we can talk about Power World for a bit. What is this? A super rare? If your engaged creature has recklessness, deal damage. Oh, okay, never mind. That card sucks. 5 points? I guess there are War Beasts that have like recklessness 20. Is that the idea? And this is like a broken War Beast card. And then let's see what I got from my location scan. What did I get? Ooh, Malgax. He's just a guy with Earth 5. 70 courage, 60 power. Oh, he's just like a big doofus that you can put in like a Maxor deck. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. Boss, I'm gonna dip. I'll catch you about it. Awesome, sounds good. You have a blessed rest of your Saturday. Hope it's a good one, and I will see you Tuesday to talk about some battle spirits. Some battle spirits. All right, let's get let's talk about Power World. Like, Balrog seems cool. Not for my deck because I want to play water. But if you play any Earth Shell, he seems fantastic. He has really, really good stats, and I bet those are also really good like Earth stats. So he seems swag. I will be back on the game at 10 p.m. to do my other Glue Muck Swamp scan. Okay, so here's the thing with Power World, right? Let me see if I can pull it up on Twitter. I know some people have posted stuff on Twitter that I can pull up for images. The problem with Power World. So I honestly, low-key, think it's the opposite. I don't think the issue is the IP. Or it's one of those things where, maybe I shouldn't say that the issue is not the IP. Where's my Chrome tab? There it is. The thing with Power World is that it's very much just another one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's just another game. It's just another. It's like straight up. It's just another one. And that's kind of the main problem I have with it. Everything it does is stuff we've seen before. Like, it's just a Duel Masters clone, but with like the bits and sprinkles from other games taken out and put into other spots. Like, you can read the cards and you see everything you need to know. The cards, they have a resource cost. They have cards have colors, but it's one of those stupid games where they just go, just pick 2 colors. You pick 2 colors and your deck is just 2 colors. Like, the resources don't matter. They're generic Dawn resources. Maybe I can find an image of it. If I can, it really doesn't matter. Okay. Here we go. It's the stupid generic Bandai resource of it's just a card with something on it, and they all tap for nothing. So like that part's really boring. And it's just cards. They have a cost. They have 2 numbers at the bottom. So they have a power stat and a critical stat. So this is the amount of like fight they have to hit other monsters. And then this is the damage they'll actually do to your life points. The only gimmick is that every time you deal damage, for every point of damage, you have 10 life. I hit 0, you die. And then for every point of damage you deal, you mill yourself that many cards. So it's like half life decking. And if you ever hit one of the guys with one of these little triggers on it, you like do the Wii Cross or Bakugan damage negate. You like negate the rest, either the rest of the damage or all the damage you would take or something. So it does the thing of like the more damage it's actually better to poke people because the more damage you deal, the less likely for it is for all that damage to go through. So your big guys are going to actually act more like blockers than real damage dealers because you don't want to hit someone for 4 because 4 damage is chances to cancel, you would rather hit someone for 2 twice, because then you're more likely to actually get the damage through. So like that's like a cute gimmick, but again, it's nothing new. Like that's in other games. So it doesn't do anything like fancy. There's instance, yeah, you can cast your gun. We've heard the joke 18,000 times. It's not funny anymore. Yeah, I get the cast gun card and shoot your pal in the head. Cool, man. They're using the Riftbound frame. It's not even the Riftbound frame. It's even the Riftbound frame. It's just the card game frame, right? It's the Bandai Sludge card game frame of like the bare minimum of what it needs to be to convey the information of the numbers on the card. It just uses the card frame, which Riftbound also just uses the card frame, which is something I criticized it for in an older Riftbound video. I played some early events, but I don't see the game going anywhere, right? It's like, I'm gonna try it, right? I'll try it, but literally nothing about it excites me. I think it is I'm even depressed talking about it now. You know, there's nothing to be excited about for it. Literally, it's just, if you like the IP, play it. The game isn't inherently bad, right? It's just nothing. It's just boring. It's a 5 out of 10. Like, it's fine enough. It's serviceable as a game. So, like, if you like the IP, Digimon's a completely different game. That one, I would not say, like, play Digimon. Digimon actually sucks. That is actually a bad game. Like, if you like the Power World IP, play it. You'll probably enjoy it. If you're sick of Vanguard and you want to play a Bushiroad game that plays more like Magic the Gathering, play Shadowverse, and if you don't like Shadowverse, then play Power World. Like, that's kind of where it's at. You know what I mean? It's like, why would I play Power World? Why would you recommend someone to play Power World? Like, you like Power World, that's it, right? It's like, what's the gameplay like? And it's like, hard game. Like, it's fine, but like, it's an experience you can get basically anywhere else, right? This just has the Power World skin on it. It's like, there's literally nothing. I don't think there's a single... Is there a single original aspect to the Power World game outside of like the intellectual property associated with it? Not that I can think of. Everything in this game comes from somewhere else, in some way, shape, or form. I really can't think of anything. I like to play Shadowverse Evolve, but no one plays it locally. I only heard about side games and Bushy. I hate this thing. Yeah, right. Like, Shadowverse Evolve, good luck finding a locals. They don't exist. Like, if you have a Shadow of Evolved locals, you're lucky. I like the game. The game's really fun. I really like playing it. I play it at every BCS and Springfest I go to. I play it whenever I get the chance. I like it a lot. It's just that, like, there's nowhere to play it locally, and at that point, it's so, like, so hard to find people to play with. I would just go play Magic. You get the similar experience. Like, that's it. Right, but yeah, this is just like a TCG the game. There's nothing new here. So, like, I mean, try it. I wouldn't say don't try it, but like, also don't get excited. The card frame looks like Digimon? Sure. Yeah, it does. It looks like, again, like, that's what I said earlier, is it's the card frame. All the Bandai games have it. Riftbound has it, and now Power World has it. It's just the card frame. The IP is not strong, in my opinion. If the power crashes, it makes Bushy wake up. Probably won't. Also, the problem is Power World hasn't even come out yet. Like, the game. The video game Power World isn't even out yet. It's been in early access this entire time. It comes out, like, this summer. So there is a shot that the game has a resurgence and gets, like, pseudo-popular again. It's not impossible, so maybe the card game can coast off of that. Who knows? The problem isn't even that its mechanics from other place. The problem is that the implements them in the more... Yeah, like, it doesn't do anything new with them. It has no new mechanics and has no new implementation of said mechanics. It's just, like, I don't even know how to describe it. 1.0 comes out next month. Okay, yeah. So, like, the game proper comes out next month. So there's a chance that it has some sort of resurgence. That's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. I feel like watching him, but don't know if it'll hook. Yeah, right? It's like, I don't know how, like, the only thing about this that can grab people is the IP. Because it's just the card game. I do like the game a lot, but don't have people to play with. Yeah, right? And that's the hard bit, is finding people to play. And not everyone wants to go on Discord and webcam people, man. That's a whole task and a half sometimes. So yeah, a big thing is going to be also, yeah, if you have a locals for it or not. But the game is just so fine. It's so medium that, like, it's hard to even have, like, any semblance of an opinion on it, because there's just nothing there. But whatever. It's winning. I think it. Yeah. I mean, they're certainly not losing, right? They're certainly not losing against Nintendo. I can tell you that. They're doing pretty fine. But yeah, I'm not super excited for Bob. I'll play it. I'll give it a shot. But I'm like, I don't expect much. There we go. I played a little bit of the video game. The video game is one where I was like, I need my friends to play it with me. It's not one I would enjoy playing on my own, but I did like it. I did have fun. Like, if my friends were like, we gotta play Power World today, I would 100% be down. I think the game is fun. I do like the video game. But yeah, the card game is just like, this honestly might be the entire rules right here. This might be the entire game. It's just such like a nothing burger. I can't even like comment on it. 8 lucky icon. Good. Yeah, there's nothing here. So if you want to read the rules, go for it. Second to play with people, yeah, right. It's definitely a like game you want to play with your friends for sure. But yeah. Pal World, pretty mid, turns out. Pretty boring. Very, very honk shoe, if you ask me. Demo is really bare bones. I think the entire game is going to be bare bones. Right? I would not be surprised if the entire game is bare bones. But chat, that's basically about all I wanted to cover today. I just figured, you know, we should cover the new Bandai game and talk about it before it gets revealed. Makes sense. Is Shadow vs. Evolve cheap? Yes. Shadow vs. Evolve is very cheap. Obviously, it depends on the deck you are trying to build. If you're trying to build the best deck in the format, that's going to run you a little bit more money because everyone's building that deck. But for the most part, it is compared to other card games, it's pretty cheap. It is very affordable. The only problem it has is it has some issues with staples, like old staples. Some cards that came out 2 years ago that are good now. So you might like walk into those, which is unfortunate, but like if you just pick a craft and you just buy the cards for that craft as sets come out, like it's super cheap. It's super cheap. It's like the 3DS games. It'd be nice. It'd be very cool. But I ain't doing that. I don't know. I can't do all that. But yeah, Shadow vs. Evolve is very cheap. If you like, obviously, like it's as expensive as you want it to be. The showdown decks are great. The showdown decks are phenomenal. Actually, I have an example. Is the card in here? I might have taken the card out. While I was at the BCS, I bought this. I bought the Havencraft one. Not because I want to play Amulet Haven. I low-key do want to play Amulet Haven for fun at one point. But this deck comes with they printed these showdown decks. If you want to play, honestly, if you want to play it, pick a craft, buy one of these. These are such great value. I just bought the Havencraft showdown deck because it came with these. The showdown deck cost me about $20. This playset plus the Evolve, I think at the time would run you around $70. So just this alone was $70 in this $20 box. The reprints they put into these are incredible. So I highly recommend getting a showdown deck. If you want to check out Shadowverse, it's super easy to jump into, and the showdown decks have excellent reprints in them, very like, quality reprints. It's actually shocking. Not generous with their reprints; they're very good. What's the best deck from Showdowns? What is the best deck? I don't know. Whatever craft you want to play, right? That's the real question. I want it. Shadow vs. Sigil is cool. I wouldn't be like, this is the meta showdown deck pick. Just pick the craft you like and then build off of it. It's like a starting point. The showdown deck is a starting point that you then build off of into a meta deck. So literally just pick the one you like. If you like control, buy the amulet one. It's Amulet Haven. It's a control deck. If you like aggro, I think the swordcraft deck is like not token sword, but like little dudes. I don't remember what's in Dragon. Runes is Earthright. It has really good Earthright reprints. So if you want to play Earthright, buy the Rune deck. I don't remember what's in the Forest one. And then the Abysscraft has some like just generically good reprints in it. I don't remember the specifics. I don't know. Pick the one you like. Just pick the one you like. Like straight up. Or if you want to teach people, just buy all of them. No, don't buy all of them. Just pick the craft you like. They're all good. They're all good. They're all good. They're all valuable. Pick the playstyle you enjoy the best. And you'll have fun. What do you think about Ultraman? I think it's okay. It's Marvel Snap, but better. It's just Marvel Snap, but better. Play it if you like Ultraman or you want a cute little experience. Like, don't dedicate your life to Ultraman. It's not the greatest game of all time, but it's not bad. It's perfectly fine. I think it's a perfectly reasonable game, but you should play it almost like a board game or like it's like a side game. It's a great side game, but I think it's fine. Naruto Mythos TCG and Skull. The Naruto Mythos sucks. It's dumb and bad and stupid. Give me the Naruto CCG. The Naruto Mythos game sucks when this could have existed instead. That is the stand. I don't care what the game is like. It sucks as long as it could have been this. I think it's just another like Riftbound. I think it plays just like Riftbound. That's what I've been told. It's not like Riftbound, but the cards look bad, so I don't even want to know what they do. I also don't even like Naruto that much. I just like the Naruto card game. The card game is so good that it made me like the IP more than I really did. So I don't care enough about Naruto to play Mythos. I think the cards look bad, and I think the game looks bad. So Naruto Mythos, thumbs down. But yeah, I like to in set 1 and the first 2 starter decks came out, but no one really carries English cards. In the store I could find that collects the charge way too much. Yeah. I think there was a locals I went to in like Virginia that had them in stock, but I can't remember if they're expensive or not. But it's cute. Like the game is cute. A couple people in my shop who play it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's very cute. I mean, I like the Naruto systems more like the entire story. Oh yeah, the power system in Naruto is awesome. Jutsu and Chakra is super, super cool. But I enjoy it. I never finished Shippuden, but I watched most of Naruto in like high school over a summer. I like it a lot. I think it's really good. I'm a fan. Yeah, I think chat. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Thursday reacts to the Bandai card game, and I think after we see the Bandai card game, I should make a tier list. We should do a tier list video of all the new TCGs coming out this year, because there's actually like a chunk. I think we should do a tier list of 2026 TCG releases. I think that would be really, really fun. I think that would be. I've heard of Good Luck Coliseum. I mean, is it some random Bandai game that just came out in Japan and only Japan? Like, probably not. No. Have you heard of my niche Bandai game? No. No, I haven't. I'm unfamiliar. Which Buddy Fight collab deck is best? I want to play one at locals. Katana World. Katana's the best one by far. It's like competitive. It was competitively viable. Katana World's the best. And also, funnily enough, at least when I bought it, it was by far the cheapest, which is really funny. Katana's the best and the cheapest. And then Aussie is playable. Aussie to Haka is playable. All the other ones kind of suck. The other one's kind of bad. But if you want to build like the best one, build Katana World. Dragon World? I try to teach people, a couple people friends who don't really cared for it due to the Gundam TCG coming out. Yeah, that'll also do it, right? That'll also do it when they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna play Gundam instead. Just play Gundam instead. But yeah, if you want to build like the best one, it's Katana World. That is the strongest. Danger World. That hasn't even been revealed yet. What? I'm gonna get a bit more into it. I could try it more. I respect it. I respect it. Huh. Wild. But yeah, I think the plan is Thursday react and then make a tier list because we have so many freaking games coming out. There's, oh my gosh, let's order them all. Pal World, Caster Chronicles, Bandai game, IQ. There's more Chaotic. 5. Is there more than that? Brandon, I don't know if Bandai game's probably not coming out this year, but we're gonna count it. I feel like there's more, but it might just be those 5. That might be it. But then we can go top 5 games I'm most excited for in the future, and it's like, joke's on you, there's only 5 games coming out. But I get to rank them. I'd get to rank. We love ranking things. Chat, don't we love ranking things? Dude, what would be the point of life if I couldn't rank things? I love ranking. I love ranking different things. Making tier list videos. Guys, we should just become a tier list slop channel. I just do nothing but make tier list slop over and over and over again. You know, or Bushy or Bandai could just be really nice and be like, actually, just kidding, there's no new game. It's actually Battle Spirit Standard, but in English. I'd be like, yay! I'd be so excited! Oh yeah, oh well. Alright, that should be good. What if Yokai will... I mean, we would have gotten that already. That franchise has long past its relevance in America. You would have gotten that years ago. We probably did get it. Oh, we did. We did get the Yokai Watch TCG, but they like changed it. They made it like awful. There was a TCG in Japan, and they ported it to America, and then changed all the rules. What? To a chaotic D&D style roleplay. That's a cool idea. There is a TCG tabletop RPG called Perfect Draw. I don't know enough people to do that with, nor do I. I've played a little bit of D&D. I don't got the people for that. It's a cool idea though. It could be neat. What if our decks are so fun to play, but they really aren't fun to play? Wait. Buddy fight decks are so fun to play, but they really aren't so fun to play, in my opinion, if you are against a non-buddy fight deck. Yeah, the only one that really competes with standard Vanguard decks is Katana World. And like kind of maybe Aussie. All of the other ones are just kind of fun to play into each other, but they will get bodied by anything else. Unfortunately. But oh well, that kind of is what it is. What time is it? 2:30? That's good. That's good for my surprise impromptu stream. Alright, chat, I'm gonna go eat more go yokai flop for real. For real yokai flop. I remember correctly, the Yokai Watch suffered extremely poor sentence structure, figuring out rules a nightmare. Yes, that was another problem too. They were written horribly. Just horribly written. But oh well. But yeah, okay. Chat, what we got on the schedule? We have Monday, chaotic viewer battles, which people asked for, so I guess I have to do now. So Monday is gonna be mostly chaotic. Tuesday, we're talking about Battle Spirit Standard, and why that game's good, and then I'll probably also complain about Saga at the same time. We'll compare Standard and Saga and talk about that. Then no stream Wednesday. I don't think I scheduled any. There shouldn't be a stream Wednesday. Thursday, reacting to Bandai new card game. And then maybe card game tier list of releases coming out in 2026. And that's the next week of streams, and then I'm not going to stream then. We'll have, depending on what gets revealed, we'll have review for Vanguard on Tuesday or Thursday, depending on if new decks. I'm probably only going to do a review for new decks and not like random like support triple rares. Just because like those are boring to talk about, and it takes up a lot of time. So I'll just do reviews for new decks. So like I'll maybe review the Buddy Fight collabs just for funsies, even though I'm not gonna have too much to say about them. So look out for that Tuesday or Thursday. But that's basically the stream schedule. And luckily, thanks to YouTube.com, you can see it. Can you see it all? I think you can see it all on the channel if you just go to the live tab. So be sure to hit that notification button so you know when I go live next time. Be sure to, I don't know, like, comment, subscribe, watch the VOD over and over again while you sleep so it gets views or something. I don't know. With that being said, chat, thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I hope you guys are excited for Bandai's 57th random TCG. Yay! Surely this will be the game that saves us and makes me actually buckle down and pick a specific card game to talk about for forever. Yeah, with that being said, I gotta pee really bad, so I'll catch you guys Monday for some more chaotic. Bye! Bye, everybody! I'll see you